ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite weekly sports podcast show. That's right, this is Sideline Banter. I'm your host, as always, Cooper Pose. Join with me to my left, my co-host, Weston Murphy, and behind the camera, as always, bringing us to your guys' homes, your headphones, your cars, Spencer Steinke, our producer. And tonight, we do have a special guest.
He's special.
Yeah, he's pretty special. He is going to be our basketball guy tonight a little bit. You might know a little something here or there about some...
former Gym Rats coach.
Former Gym Rats coach, champion.
Two-time
champion coach. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Our roommate, Evan Gilbert, is here tonight. And we are excited to bring you guys another exciting episode after missing last week. Had some scheduling issues, had a couple birthdays.
Hey,
me and Weston
shout out
both.
Michelle Pose for the shirt.
Shout out Michelle for the shirt. Me and Weston both turned 25 last week. Was a very epic week. And
what? Your birthday was last week?
Don't even. But yeah, we're very excited. We got a lot to talk about tonight. A lot of stuff happened last week, specifically NBA playoffs, NFL schedule release, John Morant getting caught again. Another gun on Instagram Live. Pretty outrageous. Pretty stupid, if you ask me. But
okay, like you don't do that every other week.
I mean, you know I don't have a gun.
I've seen Coop do it in the car. Sometimes he puts the young boy on and he just gets a little crazy.
The young boy? What's the young boy?
It's a parade inside my city.
Yeah. All right, Spence knows he's part of the culture.
But yeah, we are very excited to bring you guys another fantastic episode, and we're going to get to a little sports tonight. But first, as always, don't forget to follow us at _Sideline Banter on Instagram and Twitter. Find us on YouTube at Sideline Banter. Hit that like, subscribe button. Every Thursday at 8 a.m., new episodes come out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, and wherever you listen to your podcast. We're very excited tonight, and let's get right into it. Now we got a couple questions from Sweeping the Socials. We're going to kind of do it a little differently tonight. I'm going to trickle the questions in here and there as we talk about our topics, and yeah, Weston, let's go ahead and lead it off.
All right, yeah. Speaking of lead off, we won't be talking any baseball this episode. I know that's kind of getting a little busy right now, but who cares, right?
I got a baseball shirt on right now.
Are you a baller?
Not really.
You visit the Diamond frequently?
No, actually, that's probably the last place that I should visit.
You got hurt on the Diamond,
I was
actually.
going to say, last time I played on the Diamond.
I wish you guys were there for that. It was so fun.
I actually just busted my ankle pretty bad, so.
Damn. Anybody want to go ahead and give that story real quick?
And he was pitching. That's what makes it even better. We were playing slow pitch. Yeah, you were pitching.
Right. Well, I was making a play on the ball, though.
Okay, but were you really?
Okay, I really was, because nobody on our fucking team wanted to do anything other than me and you.
Yeah, because I was in the outfield, bro. I was from left to right.
You
I
were
was
covering
moving.
the outfield. I had to cover the whole infield.
But long story short, I'm pretty sure I was the one who was throwing you the ball. I was literally
making a play.
I think he was fielding.
Yeah, I was throwing it from the outfield to home base because somebody was running home.
You're right.
And you were like taking like a hop, skip, and a step over the home plate.
No, I was
and you just rolled your ankle.
Yeah,
and you just went down.
The home play, and well, because the cleats that I had on the left.
Vapor Carbons let you down.
The Vapor Carbons wouldn't let me down, and the shoelace literally broke before the game, which I should have taken as a sign. So my left shoe wasn't even tied. So
yeah, they scored too. So
I mean, they scored a lot. Our
pretty
team was pretty
safe
bad.
to say
so.
you cost us that game.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, anyways, let's get away from that. Let's jump to sweeping, huh?
So let's get as far away from that as possible. Okay, so yeah, like you said, we missed last week, but I mean, we did have some crazy news happen as far as even as early as I'm pretty sure it was announced yesterday. The biggest, I would say, sports podcast, sports show, sports daily show, probably in the United States right now. Pat McAfee show. I know that we reference them constantly on this show because Cooper and I obviously both watch every day. So that's kind of where we get a little bit of our background bases as far as what's going on in the world, and definitely enjoy that show and all the people on that show. They vacated their 4-year, $120 million deal with FanDuel Sportsbook and have decided to go ahead and team up with ESPN Studios, obviously owned by Disney. So they're in the mainstream now. They joined the Disney ESPN umbrella. I believe they signed, I don't know if the years are designated, but they signed at least $10 million deal a year. It's 6 figures a year. I know that. So they're definitely going to be raking in the moolah, and they obviously have the access to all of the benefits that comes with being an ESPN show. They're now going to be streaming on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and then the ESPN YouTube channel, all simultaneously, all every day. And I don't know. I'm definitely nervous about it because my biggest fear is that the show undergoes major changes. Or
I did see something that said that they won't have any hold on their creative, like the creativeness of the show.
Yeah, I definitely trust Pat in the fact that he's keeping his vision, because they vowed to always keep the show free, always keep it, streamable on YouTube or whatever it's easiest to consume for people. And they definitely always said that they want to, remain in the driver's seat and not really give any control to anybody overseeing anything. It just makes me nervous because ESPN obviously is a corporate company owned by Disney. They're definitely very suit and tie, polished up. They want to be presentable to the masses. And Pat McAfee's show has been, a very rogue show. I think since it kind of came out, it was, started with just AJ Hawk and Pat McAfee Sports Talk, and has evolved over the years into, this conglomerate of sports enterprise at this point, and where a lot of people get their news, their daily sources, as well as their comedy. It's a great show that, has really built like an authentic clientele and really good numbers just based off of what they do and being so authentic in themselves. So that's obviously something that I don't want to lose by them, going to ESPN. But I'm also excited of the possibilities, because I know me and you both grew up watching ESPN forever. It's just always been, the sports fallback, I think.
Worse and worse, though, over the years.
Definitely on the downhill slope. So I think the way I look at it, this Pat McAfee signing is going to save ESPN as far as being the worldwide leader in sports still, because I think Pat was getting really, really close to rivaling that. And if he ended up going somewhere else, I think they would have had a real problem on their hands moving forward with this, the new media enterprise, and just all of these people making individual content on all the platforms, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, all of these things. You can get into this stuff, obviously, like we're doing right now. And we kind of model what we do after the Pat McAfee show, and kind of try to follow in their footsteps of what they were able to accomplish. So I think this is really encouraging if you are a sports fan, because I think they are the new wave. I think it's going to be a massive success for ESPN. They made the right move, signing these guys, especially at this time. But I don't know. What do you guys kind of take from it? What do you guys think as far as, possibilities of what can happen to the Pat McAfee show, or what happens to ESPN?
The only thing I'm nervous about is kind of like how you said, with being under Disney and ESPN now, like so corporate. I'm pretty sure they just dropped a Barstool show recently, didn't they?
That video is old. I know what you're talking about, though.
They dropped PMT, yeah.
Yeah, while they're recording the second episode or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if
that came down with that, though.
I don't know if that same thing would happen to the Pat McAfee show, but just being able to change their content or whatever to be more suited for their viewers or whatever, being more professional. I don't know if that would change kind of how they would run their show, but that's the only thing I'd be worried about. Otherwise, it's a big signing.
Yeah, he had that meeting with CEO Bob Iger, famous businessman. He's the controller of Disney, and he said it went really, really well. He was really appreciative of the meeting and everything. And I guess it was revealed by Pat himself today. He had his first show back since having the baby, that it was his suggestion to ESPN that they're going to kind of minimize the amount of times they say fuck on the pod. So I guess that's kind of a good sign from the outside looking in, because it kind of says that ESPN didn't even, make the suggestion that was something that they had to cut down from. Pat kind of, had the wherewithal to make that suggestion, because obviously I think he understands what they're going to be doing, working. This is definitely, I think, Eli Manning and Peyton Manning having a big hand in this, getting Pat, because they work hand in hand with ESPN, and I think they understand, Pat's the future. He's got the biggest audience in sports right now on a daily basis. They know that getting him is a major key.
Especially considering live as well, and the amount of views that they get after the live shows.
Aaron Rodgers Tuesday's first one back had 500K people watching at once.
Well, yeah, the episode where he was basically going to make his decision. I remember them saying when the episode had started, which was a whole probably 23 minutes before Rodgers had gotten on, they had 300K, which is a shit ton of people.
Insane. Yeah, they usually average, I would say, 20 to 50 on a normal day. And then, yeah, obviously those Rodgers numbers were inflated to the ceiling. But I think that only shows the potential of in the outreach that they have, being on YouTube and being a daily live show, that ESPN was probably salivating on, because they don't get, I don't think, anywhere near those numbers on any of the shows that they're kind of doing right now. As far as like, I don't even know what's on daily now, but
daily's pretty simple. It's the same as
first
usual.
take, like all that shit.
Get up starts the day, and then it's first take, and then from there, I think it's just I know pardon the interruption is still on, which to me is still.
Yeah, I know that leads kind of into our next question. Is Casey Van Char. He asked the first question about the Pat McAfee show, but we were going to open with that anyway. But he also wanted to do a draft of top sports shows of all time, and that was what I told Spence at the beginning, that pardon the interruptions goated, dude.
Pardon the interruptions, probably still one of the most unique, I think, sports talk shows.
Just fast paced,
really
and they talk about everything.
It is. It's kind of how it's almost I feel like it's an easy everyday listener.
Yeah.
They, especially considering every topic that they talk about is timed.
And it's relevant.
Yeah, which is what I like the most. They touch on a lot more topics than you would think. They don't just touch on like basic everyday, like recycled topics over and over again. They really
weird shit, random stuff.
They really talk about pretty much everything and anything that's going on in sports and individuals as well, which
Wilbon and Kornheiser are OGs. They're OGs for sure.
I mean, it's been on since 2001, so they're obviously doing something right.
I love Highly Questionable too. That shit used to smack.
Highly Questionable's not around anymore.
That shit used to smack.
Dan Le Batard's not even at ESPN anymore.
True.
That was what I was going to say about the Barstool show. There was a lot of theories that went on with why that show got canceled. One report coming out saying that apparently, I don't know the details, but allegedly the women of ESPN were upset with the show for some reason. I don't know if maybe it was like a Barstool thing. Allegedly there was rumors that they pulled the show because they had because literally they recorded an episode with Dan Patrick, and then that was it. That was the last episode. And ESPN and Dan Patrick don't have the best relationship since Dan Patrick has left ESPN.
DP's goated.
Dan Patrick has many occasions referred to ESPN as the mothership I don't want to say in negative context, but obviously not in positive context. So I think
for their controlling
I think with them having, there's been multiple times where Dan Patrick is actually supposed to have ESPN employees on his show, former athletes, reporters, things like that. And ESPN on multiple occasions has last minute pulled those people from being on his show, saying that it was an ESPN decision. So I think ESPN and Dan Patrick obviously not having a great relationship was one of the factors that played into potential of that Barstool show getting canceled, because it was a great show. I don't know the viewing they had specifically, but I know they had a large amount of viewers on ESPN, and that's what I think is the problem with ESPN is they try to stay too close to home in terms of they try to almost do like the ESPN way, now the Disney way, where if something new and different blossoms and people enjoy it, and
they try to control it.
Yeah, it strays away from the ESPN way. They try to control it, and if it isn't their way, then it's the highway, which is what I'm worried about with the Pat McAfee show. I mean, that's the thing. With the Pat McAfee show, if anything were to happen, they're big enough now, just like Barstool, where
they can just leave and get signed again.
They could just leave and either get signed again or just be specifically on YouTube.
Because they guaranteed signed a contract where they have the ability to leave if anything bad happens.
They don't have, or their show specifically, the Pat McAfee show, is really honestly like an everyday sports show, minus the amount of F-bombs that they drop, which obviously I'm wondering how they're that's what I'm confused about with the Pat McAfee show. Like, is Zito and all of them still gonna run it? Is what I'm thinking about.
As far as what they've led on, they're just gonna have help from they're just gonna have ESPN probably their employees and manpower.
So I wonder when
resources.
I'll be curious as to when that goes into effect, because is there going to be an ESPN person now on standby at the studio the whole time? Is it going to be? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if,
knowing them, they'll keep it minimal as far as what they have. They probably will just have like an ESPN handler that works there every day,
or maybe if somebody from the Pat McAfee show now officially becomes obviously they're all ESPN employees. Pat's been an ESPN employee for a while. I'm sure Connor and Ty, all of those guys who have done ESPN stuff in the past already. But I wonder if one of them will become an official employee, to where they'll go to the offices for meetings, things like that, or they'll be the handler for the show.
They'll probably just have a liaison.
And honestly, it's a fantastic move for ESPN, because I'm assuming Pat McAfee will get his own slot. during the daytime, kind of like the Stephen A. Smith podcast, because the Stephen A. Smith podcast,
I don't know if it'll be on TV because it's going to be on ESPN and the apps for sure, but I don't know if it'll be.
Well,
you think it's going to be on TV?
If it's anything like the Stephen A. Smith podcast, and to the question that we're on, the Stephen A. Smith podcast has to be up there as one of the top shows of all time, because when he had his own exclusive podcast, his show is phenomenal. Anything Stephen A. is on, as sometimes annoying and outrageous as he is, he's a phenomenal TV person, phenomenal reporter, phenomenal journalist. When he had his own sports podcast show on ESPN, you could tell that it was definitely a professionally ran show, but Stephen A. definitely controlled every aspect of that show. My thing is, with
as much as he could,
Pat McAfee is obviously his own unique type of person, own unique type of show. But what I was saying is, it's a phenomenal move for ESPN regardless, because Pat, being ESPN and all these sports networks try and bring in retired players to kind of give that sort of pizzazz to their shows, but Pat really has a fantastic relationship with pretty much everybody who's ever been on his show, other than, I forgot his name because he's relevant, that wrestler who got in his face, the NXT champion like a couple years ago. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, that was staged.
I don't know, maybe a little bit, but
100%.
still.
Other
than that,
Rondale Moore, Jerry Rice.
Other than that, he has phenomenal relationships with all these players. This is just going to pull now more, ESPN coverage for these players that Pat's going to have on the show.
And they have the resources available now. It's not the Pat McAfee show reaching out. It's ESPN of Pat McAfee show. Like, they're going to be able to get any guest at any time now.
Yeah.
Any content they want to show during the show, they definitely have coverage now. Like,
during the season, I think, is when I'll be most interested as to how the show's being ran.
I think slowly but surely we're going to see the production value just go through the roof, because it's going to be an ESPN product now. So it's just going to be the Pat McAfee show on steroids, pretty much, as far as resources and the content that they're going to be able to put out, I think. So, and hopefully it'll give time to all the other people on the show to be able to focus and do other things. Like Hammer Down's probably going to get a lot better because of this. Like, Foxy Flicks are going to get a lot better because of this. Like, I don't know, all of the stuff that Pat McAfee does, like, besides this daily show, is probably going to improve as well, which is, I would assume, part of his plan, just because with him having a kid, he's not going to be as hands-on, so he wants everybody else to get their bread up and do their kind of own stuff as well. So
here's the details of the deal. First of all, it's kind of wild that he's signing this deal already after only being 2 years into the 4-year, $120 million contract with FanDuel. And according to the Athletic, the ESPN deal is worth more than 8 times that figure annually. The show will air live on weekdays on ESPN, ESPN Plus, and ESPN's YouTube channel beginning this fall. And Pat said that it will be in this order: Get Up, First Take, and then the Pat McAfee Show. So the top 3, and Get Up and First Take obviously are the top 2 shows, or the 2 morning shows.
Yeah, they wanted to be after those because they watch those.
The fact that, so many people do watch Get Up and First Take just because Get Up is honestly a really great morning show, and First Take, regardless of how backwards I feel like it's gone in terms of
great Travis Scott song too.
Great Travis Scott song. And in terms of First Take, in terms of the product that they've been putting out lately, at least in my opinion, it hasn't been as great as it has in years past. But people still eat it up. People still watch it.
Molly.
I hate Molly. I hate Molly. But them going on right after First Take will just bring in so many more viewers for them. I feel like it's going to be it's a great move for Pat. I am just worried about the creativeness, how much they'll really, at the end of the day, be able to control.
Are you dropping news?
Oh no, I was going to tell you that the Heat are winning now.
What's the score?
You're up.
98.
Damn, holy cow!
It's not even the end of the third yet.
I was going to say, wasn't it halftime when we started?
Yeah.
Huh.
Damn.
Yeah.
What are some of your guys' favorite sports shows? I mean, obviously, we talked about Inside the NBA or NBA on TNT.
Inside the NBA is probably my favorite. I love all those guys.
Inside the NBA is probably the best sports show on TV.
That's my favorite.
I'm sorry, it has to be. They're literally
Jack and Charles' relationship is just
they're just guys. They're just clowning around
too.
Dude, the way Chuck's been barking at Kenny and Ernie, just
Shaq
I love all the banter on the show.
I think what I love about Inside the NBA too is they're very realistic, and it's
completely,
ESPN, that's the thing that I hate about ESPN and even Fox.
They push a lot of narratives.
One, and they have a lot of former athletes, but I might be wrong about this. I don't think I am, but a lot of those guys they have on, big networks didn't really do anything in their respected careers. Kendrick Perkins, pretty much, other than the early years of his career, I could be wrong if either of you want to fill in, he kind of was pretty much riding the coattails of whatever team he was on. Richard Jefferson was the same way. Like, I don't really know who's on Fox regularly, but everybody who's on inside the NBA was a highly successful championship caliber level player, basketball player in the NBA. So like whatever their word is, their opinion, to me, I feel like people resonate more with it. No.
No,
I was asking him if Ernie played basketball.
Yeah, Ernie played. Oh no, Ernie didn't play basketball.
Yeah,
sorry,
but
he's a phenomenal host. He's been with TNT for like 40 years. But you always gotta have the host. Always has to, I feel like, kind of be somebody who wasn't in the host of those shows. Always has to be clearly, honestly, some sort of reporter or journalist of some sort to keep the flow of the show going.
He's a great mediator between Shaq and
Fantastic
Charles.
mediator.
For
Way better
sure.
than fucking Molly, I'll tell you that.
I don't know what show JJ Redick is on, but I do like it.
Yeah.
I
He's on
enjoy
First
listening
Take.
to
He's
him.
on First Take.
I think he's
getting
very
interviewed for head
educated.
coaching jobs after not even being on First Take for a year.
Undisputed has kind of run its course. I think at this point, a lot of their shit is forced, and Shannon and Skip's relationship is just at this point, it's a little bit, I don't know, it's a little drawn out to me.
I liked Shannon at first.
Skip is the worst. We all can.
Skip is
Skip is the worst. But I liked Shannon at first. But now I feel like he's a little corny sometimes. You know?
I feel like it's the narrative that they push. Like they have to be.
Yeah, they have to be against each other and corny.
Can't
that's
agree
the
on
problem
anything.
with cable, with network sports talk shows. That's what
they're forcing on a daily basis. Yeah.
I mean, to me, another show is Dan Patrick, obviously.
Goated, yeah. Dan Patrick's goated.
A show I haven't really been watching a lot recently, but I watched a lot when it first came on. The Rich Eisen show is also fantastic.
Rich Eisen's a goat.
He kind of does the same thing as Dan Patrick. They're both kind of side by side in terms of their, I would say,
type
similar
of content. Yeah.
You got to talk about New Heights right now. New Heights is hot. I don't think they've been recording really that much because it's not football season. But
New Heights is definitely fire, bro. And the guests they've been able to pull have been. Their last guest was Andy Reid. That's a guy that nobody has had on. Like they're really good just because they're both current players and they're able to get the opinions of a lot of NFL guys. Like they had Brock Purdy on their show. They've had
footballin' with Ben.
Nah, trash.
It's not a bad show.
No, it's honestly decent, but I don't think I can pull myself to listen to Big Ben spew into a mic for an hour. But
I've done it. It's pretty good.
Got to talk about the pivot too.
I was just gonna say the pivot.
You got all the podcasts going. I think fucking Brandon Marshall sold for sure, dude. His show is not even half of what the pivot is now.
Yeah. Do you know what happened with that? I have no idea. Like, did Ryan Clark take over? Did Brandon Marshall leave? Like,
I don't know. I know they had a falling out for some reason, and Brandon Marshall got the short end of the stick on that one because their show is nothing compared to the pivot now. I love the pivot. They get really good guests, and their interview is a little bit different too. They delve really, really deep into the person that they're interviewing, and I often like it because they have.
It was called I Am Athlete.
I Am
That's
Athlete.
Right.
Yeah. That was a good one when they were all together, but ever since it became the pivot's really surpassed I Am Athlete, I think.
You guys see like that awkwardness that happened or like hear about it? Like Ryan Clark they were talking about like how difficult it is to play like in Denver because of the altitude.
Yeah.
And I forgot who it was, but one of the girls said something like, is it really that hard? And he was like, I literally almost died.
Yeah, Ryan Clark,
Yeah.
he had sickle cell
anemia,
Yeah.
So yeah, he literally, every time Pittsburgh went to Denver, he literally could never play. It was so unfortunate.
He was like, I literally almost died. So yeah, it is tough. And I think it just got like super awkward and quiet after that.
Yeah, it says right here that they didn't go in too far into detail, but it was alluding to business arrangements not clearly being set up as the main reason. So
Money.
who knows? Because honestly, if you think about it,
Always about the money.
In my opinion, I think Pat McAfee definitely reigns, but right now the pivot is a close second. Every show, every
as far
episode,
as individual sports shows,
every episode they have is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, there's just, I think in this
Too many
media
sports
age,
shows right now.
Yeah, everybody making shit. There's
Saturated
so
market.
many sport. Yeah,
We're sitting right at the bottom of it.
That's right, baby. We're at the bottom of the barrel. But hey,
we're trying to get into.
It's a slow climb.
We're trying to probably get into realistically the most saturated like market right now, other than probably the shoe game.
One thing Coop likes, on the bottom.
Hey, we're up, baby. We're gonna be at the top soon.
What that means, but
you just weigh on it.
Wait on it.
Shout out Casey Van Shar for the 2 questions to get us started today on Sweeping the Socials. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we can get a Pat McAfee deal here soon. That would be nice.
Hey, McDonald's, hit us up.
Next question on Sweeping the Socials. We got it from Clayton, my boy, Indiana Wabash guy. We will not know anything about this question, but he wants us to start hyping up the boys for the Indy 500.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't. I don't know. I don't know.
We are not vroom vroom guys.
Is that coming up soon or something?
Yeah, it's definitely always in the heat of the summer, and I can't tell you.
You're our local Indy guy.
Yeah, I can't tell you shit about the race, but I know the party is going to be electric. Everybody wants to get tickets in that snake pit. It's pretty much the
snake pit.
Yeah, because at the Indy 500, it's on the racetrack, and then in the middle of the track, they have a giant concert stage, and the pit is the pit of the concert stage, and that's where everybody gets obnoxious. It's just constant mosh pits. Everybody, pretty much fights every time the cars come around. They're just drinking constantly in there. It's a mess.
Sounds like the whitest shit I've ever heard in my life. I think
it's just a full-fledged American day for sure. I never made it out there when I was in Indiana, but I always looked from afar and saw the people coming back to school after the weekend there, and they just looked dead. They definitely said it was a party of the lifetime every time. I know my friend Lucas Bassina, he always went, and he always came back sunburnt and extremely drunk and would sleep for the next 3 to 4 days and was just inebriated the whole time. So I know it's a constant party, but I could not tell you a single person who was racing or who would be favorited. But all my boys in Indiana, I know they're lit. So I don't know.
Bubba Wallace still raced?
Yeah.
In the Indy 500?
Bubba Wallace is... Indy 500 is NASCAR, right?
I think so.
Yeah, Indy 500 is NASCAR.
Okay, yeah. So I know a few NASCAR guys, but I mean, shit.
Bubba Wallace.
Yeah, he does.
Like one of the only black ones.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Duh. I don't know, actually. I would assume.
Yeah, he definitely does.
So names out
Who's
there.
the golfer? Bubba Watson. Okay.
Bubba Watson.
When you said Bubba Wallace, when you said Bubba Wallace at first, I was like, that guy golfs.
Isn't that guy on live? He's a golfer.
It might be a different sport here, but
Oh, hey, shout out Indy, I guess.
yeah, shout out Claim for the question.
Indy's thinking about other things. They just got a new quarterback. Who gives up?
Yeah, they're thinking
the
about
500?
Richardson, dude. He's gonna be nice.
He's gonna be a dog.
Reports came out that he's apparently
And he's a nice guy.
He is
Phenomenal guy.
cleaned up the lunch table at the rookie meeting. Might be a next level character guy, but reports came out that he's much further ahead of schedule as far as what the Colts were anticipating. He might be a week 1 starter.
I do think it's funny, that story, if those of you who haven't heard of it, Anthony Richardson during the rookie little event that they have at the beginning of the whole draft process.
I think it was for the Colts. It was a rookie invitational.
No, it was like, because the NFLPA, Troy Vincent was there, the head of the NFLPA, and that's what I was going to say is funny about the story is Troy Vincent walked up to Anthony Richardson, allegedly in the story, and told him to leave the trash and that he doesn't have to pick it up. And I just think it's so funny that even the guy who represents the players in the NFL, oh no, leave it, just leave that to the other people, leave it to the workers. Don't worry about cleaning up your mess. And he was just no, I'm gonna clean up the mess that I made.
I know. And it was funny on the Pat show, they were talking about what if they were just fucking squirting ketchup packets everywhere and pouring syrup all over the fucking floor and just having a breakfast mess.
Dude, do you remember when there was a food fight at In-N-Out?
Yeah.
After what, the Higley game, I think?
Insane.
That was
there
my
was
fault.
chocolate milkshake all over the fucking walls and shit.
Dude, covered.
I
It was
actually
because of
stayed.
Highland.
Oh, was the homecoming game, or
It was their homecoming game and our homecoming game, but we didn't play each other.
Yeah, and Marlo was the one who started it. He threw that basket of fries across the room at somebody and then fucking...
No, it was Fabian with the water cup. Fabian threw a water cup and it just got silent. And then I think somebody else threw a shake and then all hell broke loose.
I remember
What a
after
time
that.
to be alive.
Yeah, whenever that happened, I stayed behind and cleaned it up because I knew we were going to be in
Nice
fucking...
guy Spence.
Oh, yeah, we did get in trouble for that.
Yeah,
Didn't
we
we?
got in a lot of trouble for that.
Did
We had to run for it, yeah.
Yeah, but
They found out for sure.
I don't remember
didn't.
that. The only thing I remember is Coach Campbell making us admit to literally everything wrong that we did in life. We had to run those
yeah,
sprints.
take a step forward if you've ever smoked weed in your life or
we were
had
all
a
in the
drink.
wrestling
Or,
room,
Bro, it
everyone,
was
yeah.
literally because we didn't even lose that game the night
Almost
before.
lost
It
to
was,
Maricopa.
Yeah, it was because we almost lost to Maricopa. We played so bad, we still won. But literally the next morning, Coach Campbell made us all line up and
Repent for our sins.
Pretty much, yeah. We pretty much repented for
We
our
had to
sins.
run a 100-yard gasser for every person that raised their hand if they've smoked or drank since the football season
Yeah.
started.
Coach Camerath must have got that from Coach Campbell because he did the same
100%.
thing to us our senior year because a bunch of the guys smoked before the Maricopa game. And someone wrote him,
Same
somebody wrote him an anonymous email on the team saying that there was a bunch of guys who smoked before. So he sat us down and he was like, I want you to stand up if you've ever like smoked or drank or did anything to disgrace the name of a Blackhawk. And then we had to run sideline to sideline 8 times for everybody who stood up.
You guys banter while you were running sideline to sideline?
No. That was our practice for the day too.
And that's the crazy thing that I mean, about at least 80, I would say probably 50 to 80% of the NBA plays high now.
Oh yeah.
In NBA games, they are ball and stone.
Phenomenal. Good for them.
Hey, turn up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can Terrell Claiborne.
Oh,
that dude's a hooper, and he was always smacked.
Yeah, for
Who's
sure.
the guy that you say he always looks smacked on the Pelicans?
Herb Jones.
Yeah, he does.
Bro, I've been saying that since he got. Yeah, Brandon Ingram too.
Yeah, but Jones has like he's just like his eyes are so glossy all the time.
Tired face.
Oh yeah, he does.
His eyes look droopy all the time.
Yeah,
but dude's a hooper.
Hey, NBA, I couldn't complain to just, get paid millions of dollars to go out and get fried with my boys, laugh in the layup lines, throw some dunks down, and play a game every night.
Oh, yeah. That'd be so fire.
Sounds like a good life to me.
Sounds like a great time.
All
NFL
right.
needs to take some notes.
So we'll go ahead and move on. We appreciate the question, Clayton, for asking about the Indy 500, which we have no knowledge of. But we're going to go ahead and get this segueing into football. So we definitely had the schedule release.
Schedule release was last week, and a lot of great games this year, as always. But yeah, NFL schedule release was last week, and it's amazing to me how the NFL is so dominant still that the United States literally stops everything they're doing to watch an NFL schedule release show on NFL Network, on ESPN, live tweeting the NFL schedules. While there's NBA playoffs on, while there's NHL playoffs on. I think we literally even said there was a game last week that started at like 4:30, and people were literally saying the NBA did this on purpose because people were going to be watching the NFL release show. Honestly, I didn't watch it, but I was paying attention to it, and there's a lot of really, really great games coming up this year.
Football's king, baby.
Very exciting. I actually have an article pulled up right here from thescore.com. Shout out The Score. I use you guys for a lot of my own stuff. There's not a name on this article, so I apologize if I use this article without referencing you. But they have it's the 5 best weeks in the NFL 2023 schedule that I'd like to go over with all of us, unless you want to go over the question first, Murph.
No, go ahead. Bang out these schedules. We'll ask these questions after.
Top 5 rankings right now. They have at number 5, week 11, and they have specific games highlighted for each week. And this is why week 11 they have. Week 11 will be Chiefs versus Eagles. That will be the Sunday night game. And then we have Bills versus Jets, the second time they will play. Bills versus Jets also opens up Monday Night Football on September 11th.
That's lit.
Which will be a phenomenal game. Aaron Rodgers versus
New
Josh
York,
Allen.
baby.
And then we also have Ravens versus Bengals highlighted as well. That week, there were a lot of other weeks that could have taken this spot as well. Week 6 features the Buffalo Bills versus New York Giants, which will be another battle of New York. And then we will have New York Jets and Philadelphia Eagles in week 6, which I think,
be a good one.
It's going to be a great game regardless. And then the Los Angeles Chargers and Dallas Cowboys also play week 6. So week 6 sounds like a phenomenal game as well. Whoever wrote this article.
Kellen Moore's return.
But week 5 before. How do we feel about this, or this week 11? How do we feel about this week 11, these highlighted matchups?
Are all the second, or is it like the second team is home? Is that what's going on?
I'm assuming it says Chiefs versus Eagles, Bills versus Jets, so I'm assuming it's Chiefs at Eagles. That's usually how they do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think they sound phenomenal, honestly. We get to see a rematch of the Super Bowl, rematch of the Super Bowl. And then we get to see some fire matchups.
Bills Jets again. Ravens Bengals again as well. I'm actually going to pull up week 11 real quick because I got it right here.
Honestly, these could be busts though, because what if the Jets don't live up to what we think they are?
Well, by then we will know.
Exactly.
By then, week 11, we will know.
They could beat the Bills right away and go on a fucking hot streak, and that could be the craziest game of
the Bills' downfall year.
Week 11 has a lot of really. Whoa, what? Okay, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Week 11 also has a couple really good games. Chargers play Packers. By then, we could know who the Packers are. They might be legit or not. I mean, this is an interesting game. Cardinals versus Houston, playing for the dumpster fire team.
The
Houston
shitter bowl.
Cardinals have Houston's
for the
pick
first
next year,
pick.
so it'll be interesting. Not really, because the Cardinals have Houston's pick next year. So
I know Cardinals could. I mean, they got to win that one.
that is, I mean, yeah, that's really,
That's a must-win
that's
for the
really,
Cards.
that's. I was gonna say there's got to be better games, but
Cards
that's
don't
really
have
it.
one primetime game this year.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get flex in it.
Does anybody really want to see them on primetime?
I mean, after
I
playing
don't,
on Christmas
personally.
2 years in a row, Jesus.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, week 11 seems pretty fair. Week 13 though is the fourth rank. Much more action-packed games here. We have the Eagles at the 49ers, December 3rd, the
Banger.
4:25 game.
Banger.
Jaguars versus Bengals, Burrow versus Lawrence, which
Yeah.
I mean, Lawrence
Jags could be nice by then.
Jags could be nice by then. Lawrence is starting to show that number 1 overall pick potential finally. And then we have another highlighted Cowboys versus Seahawks game, the 8:15 game.
Ooh, that'll be sick.
Chiefs versus Packers, which to me, questionable why that's highlighted as a top game. And then we also have Patriots versus Chargers. I think this is just displaying maybe the most anticipated games possibly. Yeah, another phenomenal week in my opinion. Week 13 features a lot more other great games as well. Every week is going to be fantastic in the NFL, I think, regardless.
Always.
I don't. It's so hard not to. Cardinals Steelers play that week, which will be fun little matchup. Hopefully, I'm in Pittsburgh for that game. If any Cardinals fans want to go with me, I'm sure nobody will. But if not, whatever, I'll go by myself. Patriots Chargers, and yeah, dude, this just looking at the NFL schedule is just getting me super excited. It's great. You know, we're almost there. We're like what, 4 months away?
We're close.
Got week 3, which is filled with a lot more. Or sorry, the third best week.
We're not 4 months away, are we? No, we got until August. August,
Yeah, it's May, June, July, August. We have less.
I guess.
The third best week is week 5. God, dude, but why are the Cowboys on here so much? 49ers at Cowboys, the Sunday night game. Bills at Jaguars, which to me, I feel like that's honestly that
I think
catches
the
my
Jags
interest
could
a
take
lot.
that one.
Because really, you think so that early?
Yeah.
Week
The
5.
Bills at Jags, dude, it's hard to play in Florida.
It is hard to play in
Yeah.
Florida, Jacksonville specifically.
Yeah.
I think it really will just be week 5 will be interesting because week 5 last year, Jacksonville looked like a for sure playoff team. And now they were a playoff team, but they went through obviously some little bit of trials and tribulations, bumps in the road last year halfway through, but they still ended up making the playoffs. Vikings Chiefs, which could be a really great game as well. I honestly, that could be just the score for that game could be
Very high.
very, very high, which I'm very excited for. Dolphins at Giants doesn't pique my interest that much, in my opinion. Steelers Ravens, obviously classic rivalry as well. And then they have Raiders versus Packers highlighted as well, maybe because it's a little Devontae return to Lambeau. I don't know. Jordan Love. You know, Jordan Love is going to have a lot of spotlight on him, I think, this year because he's replacing Aaron Rodgers. I hope the guy has a great, I hope he has a great career because he's going to have a lot of pressure. They already gave him a contract extension just 1 year, but I think it was like $22 million or something crazy like that.
It was cheaper than picking up his 5th year. It was $12 million imposed to 22.
Okay. But yeah, week 5 has a lot of phenomenal matchups as well. Week 9 is the second rated week on here. God, the fucking Cowboys again. Eagles versus Cowboys, the Fox 4:25 game. Then we
Yes,
got
sir.
Chiefs Dolphins 9:30 a.m.
Fire. That's gonna be
That's gonna be
fire.
the international game. I'm a little disappointed.
Ooh,
That one isn't here because I was kind of hoping that Tyreek was going to make his return to Arrowhead. He was already talking a little bit of shit about playing Kansas City again, saying he was going to have fireworks going off in Arrowhead, and whoever they're...
Called the Chiefs the Kansas City Queefs too.
Did he actually?
Yeah.
No, he
In a
didn't.
YouTube video with Destroy, and he called them the Kansas City Queefs.
Like on accident or on purpose?
purpose.
that's hilarious.
He's a dog.
No way.
Yep. Shout out Tyreek. Come on the show.
A dog.
But yeah, we got Chiefs, Dolphins, Eagles, Cowboys, which, I mean, you guys traded last year, and you've said it already multiple times. Both teams won against the other team's backup quarterback.
Neither one was real.
So honestly, you really can kind of
This is the first equal
really can
matchup.
kind of said that. You really can kind of say that. So it'll be
Yeah,
interesting
but
to
this
see.
Eagles team is looking different.
Okay, shut up, bro. They drafted Jordan Davis and Nakobe Dean last year, and everyone was saying that too. And Nakobe Dean had 8 tackles, and Jordan Davis had fucking 9.
A lot of Chargers games on here. Jets versus
All I'm
Chargers.
saying is they look different.
Rodgers versus Herbert. That'll be an interesting matchup as well. They're
That'll be
playing
a
at
banger.
SoFi.
Rodgers Herbert?
Yeah, Rodgers Herbert
That'll be
week
a
9. That'll be a
banger.
good game.
That'll be
That'll be a
fire.
good game. Bengals versus Bills.
Sounds like Evan throwing his phone against.
Hey, I didn't do that
wait.
all last season.
I
I
know.
didn't throw my phone once.
You evolved.
We're moving up.
Oh, okay. I was like, what's going on? And I was like, why are there
Growth,
2 8-20
baby.
games? And then Ravens Seahawks has the makings to be a good game. Raiders Giants. I'm sorry, Raiders Giants. I know they were a good team last year,
The
but
Raiders shouldn't be on there at
Giants
all.
are going to be nice. I'm scared. The NFC East is the best division in football. No cap.
Hey, that's what we all thought about the AFC West too.
Low key. But I don't know. All of the teams in that division at the top got better.
I
All
think
three.
Russ is going to perform well this year.
I sure hope
I
so.
hope not.
And you hope not. I
Yeah.
hope so for the sake of.
He's a cornball.
Hey, what show were we watching the other day when they referenced? Oh, it was Ted Lasso. It was Ted Lasso when he was referencing the Denver Broncos with the player coming out as gay, and then at the end he was like, "Are you correlating being gay with being a fan of the Denver Broncos?"
Yep. Shout out B-Bush.
Yeah, shout out B-Bush, shout out Mike, shout out our Denver Broncos homies.
That was hilarious.
If you haven't seen Ted Lasso yet last week, sorry we spoiled it for you. But the number one rated week on this article from The Score, and I think we can all agree, week 1, of course. How can week 1 not be the most
That's where they
anticipated
put the bangers.
number 1 week? That is where they put the bangers.
You got to start the year with
These
the
are all filled with
bangers.
bangers. We got Jets versus Bills to start it off September 11th, Monday night. Let's go through it. How do we feel about that game? I think it's honestly an electric game.
It's going to set the tone for the whole year for both of them.
It's going to be the Monday night game, so it will be
At home for the Jets is sick.
Yeah.
It's in Buffalo.
Oh.
In Buffalo. Let me confirm to make sure this is.
I thought it was at the Jets because I thought that was their first primetime game, and they haven't been on primetime since 9/11.
Yeah, and I think they won that game, right? It is at the Jets. So this article has them flip-flop for some reason. But yeah, it is at the Jets. Yeah, it's going to be the Monday night game, so it's going to be, I think it'll be a good way to end, hopefully an electric week 1. Week 1 is usually pretty exciting.
Monday Night Football.
Week 1, we usually always seem to have 80 people in our house as
You're
well,
getting bricked up over there.
watching the games.
Don't make me stand up. Don't make me stand up.
But which game are you more excited for? The Week 1 Monday Night Football, Jets versus Bills, or the Kansas City Chiefs against the brand new Detroit Lions, opening up the NFL season prime time Thursday night against the defending Super Bowl champions? If that doesn't tell you that the Detroit Lions are officially being put on notice, I don't know any other way
Facts.
to tell you that.
They
honestly.
put them there for a reason.
And Dan Campbell has already come out and said that he is excited. He loves that the team is being looked at this way, and just puts more pressure on them. Personally, I love this move for the NFL because the Lions were obviously kind of a Cinderella story, I would say, last year.
The end of the year hot.
The end of the year hot. People are wanting the Lions, I think, to be a good football team finally at this point, especially with now the NFC North being completely wide open. Nobody really knows who's going to take that division. So this really is going to be a big-time statement for Detroit because I think if Detroit wins this game, obviously you can say, okay, Detroit.
That's nuts. If
Detroit,
they win, that's crazy.
That would be crazy if they win. If they win, you can obviously say, all right, Detroit might be actually legit because my biggest worry with them is if they can carry it over into the season. But I think even if Detroit loses this game, but they still compete and they keep it close, I think you still have to be optimistic if you're a Detroit Lions and a Detroit Lion fan.
I think you just go out there and get 20 balled.
That is also a possibility. And even if they do get 20 balled, I feel like you can't hold that over their head because that can happen to anybody. That can happen
When
to
you're playing the Chiefs,
that
like
can
that's
happen
how.
to anybody.
If you lose to the Chiefs, you're
That's
gonna
what I'm
say,
saying.
"All right, yeah, we lost to the Chiefs." Like
Yeah, that
big
happens to the
whoop.
Chargers twice a year.
Yeah, pretty it does. Once in overtime and once in regular.
Dude, why are the fucking Giants on here so much? Week 1.
Giants are gonna be good.
They're
bro.
getting
This man
hyped,
is
bro.
Did I say
sleeping.
Giants? I'm sorry, I meant Cowboys because you guys, it's Giants Cowboys Week 1. 8:20 p.m. You guys are the Sunday night game. It looks like.
The Danny Dimes, baby.
Danny Dimes. Is that in Arlington? Oh no, it's in New York.
Dak Dick Scott, dude, he's going
Damn,
crazy.
bro.
That dick suck.
That poor those poor workers for MetLife. They got Giants, they got Cowboys at Giants Sunday night, and then Monday night is Bills at Jets.
Really? That's a quick.
They're gonna be just like Staples Center, and then yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that game. Yeah, are you excited for that game?
I mean, I definitely think I would rather have started the season off with a lesser of opponent because.
Yeah, but it's Dallas, it's Jerry's World, man. What do you expect?
G-men are going to come ready, bro. Dayball's going to have the boys buzzing. I'm nervous about that one. If we don't come out ready to play, that we could get blown out of the water, and then everybody, oh my God, the Cowboys are dog shit this year, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't be surprised if we honestly lost this one by a little bit because we don't historically start the season very strong, especially right off the bat. So I don't know. I'm going to be optimistic as hell for sure. But
it seems like you guys always lose week 1, and then everybody questions what's going to happen with Dallas this year. And then
we played Brady the fucking last 2 years, week 1.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say. You guys always get put on that national spotlight.
Play the Bucks every year, first game. I'm like, what the fuck?
But honestly, I feel like it's not bad for you guys because being America's team, having all that pressure on yourself. When Dallas seems to lose the first game, they seem to turn it around and become red hot, and then near the end of the year kind of start to show signs of not falling apart, but what's the word I'm looking for here? Just kind of not looking as consistent.
Yeah, stabilize a little bit, but
yeah.
I'm going to look at it from a positive standpoint. It's nice to get a really, really tough divisional opponent out of the way week 1, so we don't play them later in the year because I know last year, especially, all the NFC East games were stacked back to back to back, especially at the end of the year. Excuse me. So that's not something that I'm definitely necessarily looking forward to, but getting the Giants, out of the way week 1 and maybe coming out, we're going to be healthy and hopefully the boys are buzzing that we can get a win right off the bat. Go one up in the division. That's a big play.
Go one up in the division. That would be a massive play. And then we do have another game highlighted on here. Another Chargers game. Chargers-Dolphins.
That's going to be hype.
That's going to be a great game. And I personally...
That should be a big scoreboard.
Should be a big scoreboard. I think the Chargers probably win this game still, though.
I heard Jalen Ramsey wants to end Keenan's career this year.
Oh, I forgot Jalen Ramsey's on the Dolphins now.
Ramsey's going to get
They got voted the number 1 cornerback room in the NFL.
Oh, because of Howard and him.
Yeah, but we got a secret weapon. He's not so much. We got that number 10 baby, Justin Herbert. That dude is a genius.
God, I'm already forgetting his name.
They got Tua, bro.
The guy that they
also got Emmanuel Acho
the wrong way. Wide receiver.
Quentin Johnson.
Yeah.
Crash.
Yeah, Murph was very.
Been seeing him in training camp, and he looks pretty nice.
He looks the part. We'll see.
He looks the part for sure. And then we got another game on here. Kind of questioning why it's highlighted, but hey, probably just because it's a story franchise. Bears versus Packers. Somewhat new look Bears versus the
That'll be exciting.
New look Packers.
Week 1?
Yeah, week 1.
Oh, that's fire.
That'll be a nice game.
You got to see what Fields has done in the offseason. You get to see what Love is about. That's going to be a good one.
I want to talk about this while we're here. While we're on the topic. I don't remember who the other quarterback was, but it was the start, bench, cut bullshit. And Fields and Murray were on there.
Yeah.
Majority of the comments were saying that they would bench Fields, cut Murray.
Murray is better than Fields.
Yeah, no.
How do we feel about that?
There's just always so much optimism surrounding Justin Fields being able to make so much improvement. But like going off of last year, I mean, Murray was hurt, but Fields was still continuously week after week. We're like, okay, well, he's figuring it out. He's making small improvements, but he would also go like 8 of fucking 21 for 130 yards and then just rush for 60 times. So like, bro, Murray is substantially better passer than him.
Murray, in my opinion, obviously we can all agree he's a better passer, but Murray, I feel like in certain aspects is a better runner than Fields, in my opinion.
Smarter. Fields has to do what he has to do on the ground because he can't do it through the air.
Fields is more of a power rusher when he runs the football as a quarterback, which is kind of
he runs away from motherfuckers too.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he obviously he's more of a straight line runner, I think is what I'm getting at, where Murray is definitely more elusive, can scramble, get away from players.
Fields uses the runs to pick up yards and first downs. Murray uses runs to extend plays and save himself when he doesn't have the ability to do it through the air. They're completely different.
I think as much as we hate on the Cardinals, I think that just kind of, I don't know what it was. I don't know why I defended Murray so hard on Twitter, but Murray, when he's on, is a phenomenal quarterback. He was an MVP candidate 2-3 years ago. Honestly, less than that. Probably 2 years ago. So just the fact that he's getting all this hate and people are throwing fields, it is wild to me.
It's just recency bias.
It really is. But yeah, I agree with you guys. Bears-Packers probably will be, in my opinion, a good game. Jordan Love, first game, really starting officially as the franchise quarterback versus Bears, and Justin Fields will be fun. Another weird game that I don't know why they have highlighted on here. Patriots versus Eagles. I feel like
that's a good matchup.
Oh.
Hey, week 1, Bill could out-scheme Sirianni. They could catch him slipping.
Maybe it's just because Super Bowl matchup. But here honestly, the best game, I think, of week 1, we got right here, 49ers versus Steelers.
You guys are going to get dogged.
No, we're not.
You guys are going to get dog-walked.
By who?
The 49ers.
Who's going to fucking play quarterback for them that game?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Nick Bosa is going to literally send Kenny to the hospital.
You literally just defended them the other day when we were talking about the fucking Steelers defense.
Who?
You.
I don't recall, but
it was literally last week. It was literally right before we watched Ted Lasso after we recorded, after the schedule got released.
What'd I say?
I literally was like, damn, bro, I'm a little nervous for this game. We might really lose bad because I was saying I don't know how our offensive coordinator, Matt Cannon, is going to be. And you were like, bro, what are you talking about? The Steelers defense is literally... Oh, nice. You guys are going to be able to... It's going to be defense versus defense.
Dude, well, you might have caught me on a good night, but
You might have been on... You were definitely on the vitamins, I will admit, but still, it doesn't matter.
But I don't know. Rumor has it is Nick Bosa is going to tackle Kenny Pickett so hard his hands are going to evaporate out of the gloves.
Hey, we got a new revamped offensive line. It's going to be a different year.
Still Nick Bosa.
Dude, them with a healthy D-line, they're going to have their ears pinned back.
You guys haven't mentioned TJ Watt once. You guys are just hating on strictly the Steelers. You're not even mentioning any sort of benefit or positive from the Steelers, who still have a fantastic defense, just as good as the 49ers defense.
Oh, TJ Watt can't stop Debo, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk. He can only do so much.
He's just going to stop George Pickens, Deontay Johnson.
He's just going to stop Penny.
Deontay Johnson's a bum.
I'll give it to George Pickens because he's a dog.
Pickens is a dog.
He is a dog.
Pickens is dude, I love Pickens so much. I hate that he's on the Steelers, but Deontay Johnson is a straight fucking
He's just going to drop it. You don't have to worry about him.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see when
that's going to be a sick matchup, but
we'll see when the Steelers are holding up a week 1 victory.
I like my odds with the Niners there. I'd love to see what the odds are for that game, honestly. But yeah, it depends all at who's quarterback. If Brock Purdy ends up playing, give me the Niners by 2 tutties.
Isn't he like way ahead of schedule right now?
I don't know.
I've seen that he's looking like he's going to be back early.
I saw Tommy John is actually having a quicker recovery rate. I think Bryce Harper came back from it in like...
John.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think he did.
Yeah, Bryce Harper had Tommy John. And he was back in like...
no, I know Bryce Harper.
Oh, Brock Purdy didn't have Tommy John?
I don't think he did. I don't think he ended up having Tommy John. It was something else.
Oh, shit.
But I don't know. I could be wrong.
All right, well, I guess
I'm not worried about either team,
though. I don't know what I'm talking about then.
Because I ain't worried. I think Pittsburgh's going to be fine. See, we got highlighted on two weeks, but yeah, NFL is...
Wait, they got Sam Darnold, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold will be okay.
Yeah,
Sam Darnold's up.
Yeah,
dude, so all of a sudden Sam Darnold's up because
I definitely think Sam Darnold will fit in with
bro, he will stiff on
what's
TJ Watt to the fucking
honestly, Kyle Shanahan is just proving to be a great coach in my opinion, because any quarterback that the Niners have had on their team in the last 6-7 years has somehow managed to take them to the playoffs, and it's a championship game, Super Bowl, knocking on the door of the Super Bowl. Like, it doesn't matter what quarterback they have. So yes, I am obviously worried about the 49ers, but Pittsburgh seems to play their best football week 1 and then seem to be back and forth the rest of the season every single year. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'll give you my pick right now, though. I'm going Sam Darnold and the Niners.
Yeah, because you're just a UFC cuck who loves anybody who...
You're a USC cuck. You're the cuck who's been following more.
I have not been following USC more.
Well, okay, not more, but like more.
I've been following them because
more this year, not being a fan and everything. You've been texting me, I think I need to get a USC jersey.
No,
I'm becoming a USC fan.
Never once said I need to get a USC jersey. Never once said that.
Smith-Schuster.
I said that Caleb Williams was sort of turning me into a USC fan, but it's literally because we had a segment during the fucking regular season that was our USC Player of the Week. So
no, but
obviously
you
I'm
would
gonna
text
follow.
me. You would text me like, dude, I think I'm becoming a USC fan.
I never never said that one time.
Dude, you
I
did.
never said that
I got
one
receipts,
time.
dog.
Go ahead, pull up the receipts.
I got receipts.
Got the receipts.
But we literally had a segment that literally was dedicated to USC players. So why would I not follow USC players during the regular season? Why would I not? Just answer that. Why would I not?
I'm more of a Tulane guy.
Why would I not?
Let's go.
Hey, man.
Regardless, it doesn't matter.
If you need to convince yourself, it's okay. But I'm just saying, what you told me, a little different.
Are you done? Can we continue with the show?
Go ahead.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on.
Sam Darnold.
He doesn't even have a favorite football team. I don't know why he's in these conversations.
It's the Rams, bro.
It's not the Rams. It's USC.
Well, from a game that we're definitely going to see the 49ers probably walk out victorious. That's going to be a great week one matchup. Highly anticipated. Okay. We'll go ahead and talk about
We're
a team
not going to talk about how the Giants might fucking walk all over your stupid ass fucking team.
This man was just saying the Giants were going to shit.
Yeah, Tua might throw fucking 8 touchdowns and 4 interceptions against the fucking Chargers.
Could.
Anyway, we're not going to talk about that because the only thing we know is Nick Bosa is coming, and he's coming hard. But we'll talk about a team that's not coming hard this year, the Arizona Cardinals. Shout out Blake Elliott for another question, Blake_Elliott34, sweeping the socials. He wants to know what we think about the Arizona Cardinals and their weird-ass coaches and new shitty uniforms. I gave my opinion.
I don't think they're that bad anymore after looking at them a
Yeah,
little
they're
longer.
a little bit better. I think they're going to actually look kind of cool, maybe.
The red.
Yeah, I wish they ended up making more of a Ohio State red. The red is...
The black jersey literally looks like an Ohio State jersey, in my opinion.
Yeah, they should have done something to be a little bit more individual and stand out. And they're also, I don't know, just a little plain. Like the other jerseys were pretty plain, and that's why they got rid of them, is because the fans complained that they were a little boring, and now they just kind of have the same type of situations.
I think the NFL is just kind of turning
They're limited on
more
what
towards the
they can do.
basic look with a lot of their uniforms. A lot of the newer uniforms, besides most recently that I can think of.
They're not like as pizzazzy as we want them to be.
Well, I was going to say the Chargers, but the Chargers really, honestly...
Chargers are dope.
The design itself is... I think what makes the Chargers dope is...
The colors.
The colors, and obviously the lightning bolt logo adds a little more to the uniform. But when you think about it, the jersey itself is still very basic. Solid pants, solid jersey color.
But
not
like,
really a ton. Sorry, go ahead.
Even to the lightning bolt point, the Cardinals could have done the AZ flag. Or
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I think the AZ flag would have looked a lot better.
Anything.
They definitely fumbled.
They dropped the ball.
They fumbled for sure, especially... Honestly, I was going to say with the amount of hype that they had around the jerseys, but they didn't even really have that much hype.
Potential, though.
They kind
They
of
had that whole promo with it, and I was expecting something, some
dope.
new crazy design or anything, and it's just so vanilla.
Especially with ASU's jerseys and all the cool shit they do, bro.
Yeah,
like,
but I feel like college,
ASU's had a lot of
college has
cool
a
shit.
lot more leeway. I feel like with college they sign deals
yeah, they get
these-
more creativity and more.
where like the NFL is strictly just Nike, and I can't imagine.
Felt strictly nice.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That NFL is strictly Nike, so I wonder if in that deal itself, if there's like a design team for Nike that takes head precedent when it comes to designing jerseys. Like I feel like Bidwell can't just walk in there and say, "All right, here's a design that I got from somebody else. Nike, you design this jersey." They probably say, "All right, it's time for new jerseys. We have a head designer at Nike. They're going to design this."
Yeah, for sure.
Where college, they can do college. I mean, teams have so many different color combinations, different amounts of jerseys. Oregon, I think, Oregon wore a different jersey combination in every single game last year. There's just so much you can do more in college, I feel like.
I think if they at least throw some combinations with like the jerseys and the pants and kind of mix it up, it'd probably be a little bit better. But I don't like the whole one color. I mean, everything just looks color rush, and I like the color rush jerseys,
everything
but
does
like
look very color rush.
I don't know why every single one has to do that. And the black, I think it's the black helmets that I don't like. Just kind of looks
I like
weird
the black
with
helmets a little bit.
the black with the way the logo looks on it. I don't know. I feel like it's a little weird.
The jersey to me looks a lot better after seeing it at the draft, after seeing their players holding up the jerseys. I feel like it looks a lot better to me. I also think once it's...
I got to see him on field.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
once they're being worn in a game, I think it'll look a lot better too. Because honestly, I feel like this is how the reaction was with the Falcons jerseys as well. And the more and more I see the Falcons jerseys, the more I don't hate them. I definitely don't love them, but I don't think the Atlanta Falcons jerseys are as bad as they initially were received. I think that's how it will be with the Cardinals as well. Is there a second part to that question, Murph?
Coaches.
The coaches.
Oh, I mean, personally, I don't really know how to feel about the coach. The fact that there was so much tampering and shit going on now is what it sounds like. Explosions, whatever the hell he was saying.
Big miss.
Big miss. I don't know. The Cardinals to me just seem to be snake bit, and I hate to admit it, Cardinals fans, but it might be a while until we see a winner in Arizona. And I only say that mainly because Kyler is still injured, and who knows when he's coming back. I think he'll come back pretty early, I would assume. I mean, hope.
Are they going to deal D-Hop and Buddha yet?
They're not good anymore.
I think D-Hop
They're
is
staying?
D-Hop's staying.
Yeah.
I don't think Buddha's going to get traded.
Which might mean Kyler's expected back sooner than later.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's any way D-Hop would waste a year there if Kyler has no potential to come.
Well, I also feel like the Cardinals, it was very known that the Cardinals and D-Hop didn't really have much trade market or trade value, so I feel like Cardinals probably didn't want to dump D-Hop for nothing in return. And
he had a market, just probably not as much as they wanted to get in return.
Well, reports were coming out that the Cardinals were only going to get at least a third-round pick. They weren't going to get anything more than a third-round pick for him. So, me personally, I wouldn't have traded him for a third-round pick or less. That's just my opinion, because D-Hop to me is still a first-round or first-draft pick caliber player, at least a second-round pick. But with Buddha, I feel like when Buddha announced his trade request, that was when D-Hop was also wanting to get traded. And I feel like the Cardinals organization honestly went up to Buddha and was like, look, man, you're the fucking cornerstone of our team. Cannot trade you. I'm sorry. Because Buddha wanted to get traded more for money purposes. He wanted more money. Cardinals were saying they weren't going to pay him. So I feel like the Cardinals maybe had talked to him, but I don't think they're going to trade him anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot of opinion on the Cardinals. I think this season's kind of a wash, in my opinion. I don't think that they really have the potential to do much this year unless Kyler ends up starting week 1 and just being way ahead of schedule as far as what he's able to do. But we'll see how he looks coming back off that injury as well. I think we undermine the fact that he's coming off of a major knee injury, and he's a player that relies on his legs very, very heavily. So I don't know. At least they're going to look good this year, and that's what they have to hang their hat on as far as new uniforms goes. But I don't know. We'll see. The Cardinals have 0 primetime games, and I think the NFL is a little right on not putting a lot of hope in.
That is crazy. You don't have a single primetime game, honestly.
Yeah.
I am shocked about that.
Shout out
Especially with
Blake.
the market that Arizona is kind of turning into now.
Yeah, facts. Shout out Blake, though, on your AZ Cardinals question. Hopefully they end up doing better than we think. But we got another question from Casey Van Shar. Discuss Devontae's recent comments on Aaron Rodgers. Where does Devontae rank with current receivers? So I'll let you go ahead and break that down.
Comments with Aaron today.
Spence?
He was just basically saying how he's like, if you get rid of all of his stats, he's still going to be like one of the top receivers in the league and everything, and that he doesn't need Aaron Rodgers for him to be a great receiver.
Oh, I think I did see that. I mean, I agree. Devontae to me is, I think it's the thing that we see usually with a great quarterback and wide receiver duo. A lot of times it can either go either way. You can say that a receiver made a quarterback or a quarterback made a receiver, and it is interesting when you see them go separate ways. I think Devontae has proven and shown, even when Rodgers was his quarterback, that he was still making phenomenal catches, making phenomenal plays. His route running and elusiveness and footwork,
He's just able to get open, so he's, as long as he has someone that can give him the ball and when he's open, that's all that matters.
His footwork and what I was saying specifically has already shown that the talent that he has as a receiver. So I agree with him. I think regardless with Aaron Rodgers or not, Devontae has proven that he's one of the top receivers in the game. And I think personally right now he's still the best receiver in the league, in my opinion. And And we're back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We had some technical difficulties. Our mascot got a little too excited, ran through the camera cord. So
Master Saboteur.
if you hear me yell, ooh, you. And if you're watching and the camera falls back, and that's why Herc ran through the camera cords. Hey, he's just trying to hang out with his dad.
That means you're a real fan.
That also means you're a real fan if you made it this far. Yes, correct. But back to what we were saying before. Yes, I think Devontae is still, in my opinion, the best receiver in the league. And he's definitely still, regardless, he's a top.
Over Jettas?
Oh, yeah.
Over Tyreek?
I think
I'm
he's
taking Jettas.
He's I think right now you would say yes, Jetta, but I think in terms of we're looking at the top receivers in the league right now, I think I think it's 50-50 split. People would say either Devontae Adams or Justin Jefferson. You could even make the argument for Jamar Chase, but I feel like regardless, Devontae Adams if Devontae Adams isn't in your top 3 wide receivers in the NFL right now,
I agree.
Yeah, then you're capping.
He's top 2, I think, undisputably.
Because I think you could say for sure in no order, Adams, Jay Jettas, Tyreek, or Adams, Jay Jettas, Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
I think those 4 names, at least in my opinion, are the top 4. And then you could put George Pickens 5.
I mean, we haven't really seen Jamar Chase doing crazy without his backups. Without T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, like I feel like they really help him.
I agree, but he still is an absolutely insane.
I would still love to have him on my team, sure, but I think that's what puts Devontae Adams and Jettas like beautifully over him, and even Tyreek Hill has proven on a different team. Like, yeah, he's got Jalen Waddle, but that's not a target.
Yeah, I think I'm curious to see how Jay Jetta is going to actually do this year with Jordan Addison on his team, taking some targets away. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, but I feel like they're going to feed Addison a lot more than they're going to feed Thielen, just because obviously he's their first round pick. But
I thought Thielen's gone.
He's in
Carolina.
Oh, okay. You're just saying like replacing him? Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
They still got KJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. What do you think, Murph?
I think my opinion of Devontae is I think he is probably number 1 for me just because of the way that he's able to get open in man-to-man. I think the concepts that are run in Minnesota that get Justin Jefferson open are a lot better. I think Kevin McConnell's a way better play caller right now than Josh McDaniels, runs a better system as far as being advantageous for a wide receiver like Jettas to be able to make big plays and be able to be the focal point of that offense. And that's opposed to Devontae runs in a more traditional style Patriots-looking offense, but he is still consistently torching his opponent one-on-one. And if they do decide to cover one-on-one, he can eat, I think, at will pretty much if they have a quarterback that can get the ball out and put it on him.
Yeah.
So that's why I think I would take Devontae over, especially because I think I would take Kirk Cousins over Derek Carr, and I would take Jetta's supporting cast.
Jimmy G.
Yeah, I would take the supporting cast in Minnesota over what was in Las Vegas as well. So it just shows that Devontae was able to eat with, less weapons around him, knowing that he's the biggest, target on the offense.
Okay, but did he have less weapons, or was Derek Carr just that bad? Hunter Renfrow, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller, those are all some pretty good guys.
Waller was injured the majority of this season last year, though.
It was more towards the back end, though.
Yeah, Waller didn't really do shit at all last year, honestly. And, I mean, Hunter Renfrow got paid and he just didn't get utilized in the offense as much as we thought. I think that McDaniels coming in really showed that it was going to be a different system. But either way, Adams 8. So, I think
the majority is, you got to look at what Devontae Adams did.
Despite all the other effects.
Last year compared to what he's done with Rodgers as his quarterback, having Derek Carr last year, who pretty much on a downfall the whole year.
Not a lot of drop-off.
Not a lot of drop-off at all, having pretty much a year that he would have potentially had with Rodgers.
And his first year in a new system, which is really impressive. So it just shows to me that he's he can do it anywhere, and it wasn't as big of a question mark. A lot of people were saying when he'd left, is he going to be able to do it without Rodgers? Speaking to Casey's question, and he kind of shut that all up. So I think that shows that he can wear the crown. I think is the best receiver because it just shows it wasn't a byproduct necessarily of the system or the quarterback completely. So I don't know. The shit that I remember at the beginning of the year, I'm pretty sure he ate disgustingly against you guys, made your corners look sickly.
Didn't the first game he had
16 catches or 18 catches or something?
He went stupid.
Yeah, in the beginning of the year, he had multiple games with double-digit high teens catches, and he was eating against man coverage the entire year and finding every hole in the zone too. his footwork and his ability to feel the defense and know how they're going to try and cover him is next level.
I mean,
I would take him.
He had his second most career receiving touchdowns this year, first year with the Raiders, and he had
that's wild.
Had his fourth best reception year. He had 100 receptions, 1,516 yards, 14 touchdowns.
He
actually you could technically say this is the second best season of his career. Catches was ranked fourth in his career. This was the second most yards he's had in his career and the second most touchdowns he's had in his career. And this was
with a quarterback that got dumped. That's crazy.
This was the highest average per catch he had this year, 14.2 yards per catch.
Yeah. Well, so let me play devil's advocate here. So then, by that logic, I feel like Tyreek Hill is kind of the same way. So why wouldn't he be number one?
Just because I think the offense that they run, McDaniel is a way better play caller, and I think we all know that the way that he cultivated that offense, and I think it goes a lot to just the way that Tyreek's utilized. He's not running, the whole route tree against man-to-man on the outside. He's moving constantly. He's being used in end-around screens consistently. Like, it's just a different player. That's why I think it's been so hard to always put Tyreek in that discussion, because even so, like, being a short stature guy that's used in a lot of ways, he's still not eating on the outside man-to-man the way that AB was back in the day, who's very comparable to him. That's just why I think, and he doesn't end up getting as many catches, but overall he gets probably more scrimmage yards and more touches just because of all the other things he's able to do for you. And I think maybe that makes him the most complete or most valuable weapon, but I don't think it makes him the best wide receiver.
Yeah, Tyreek did eat this year, though. 119 receptions, 1,700 yards, only 7 touchdowns. But
that's crazy. I didn't know that he almost had 2,000 yards.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
With an injured
that's 100 yards a game. Huh?
Yeah.
With an injured starting quarterback.
I mean, yeah, and dog shit quarterbacks.
Well, and he had him and Waddle both, and that's kind of something that I would use in the argument with Tyreek, is him and Waddle both had similar production this year. Obviously, the offense, they both multiple occasions had over 150 games. So I think, to your point, yes, the type of system offense that Tyreek plays in,
and supporting cast.
Yeah, and supporting cast, so you're really able to help elevate Tyreek's game that we've seen in years past compared to when he played for the Chiefs. But yeah, no, I would still say, in my opinion, I would still Adams. That's just because
my top 3 is Adams, Jettas, and Tyreek, and I think Jettas and Tyreek are closer than Jettas. I mean, they're all super, super close, but I don't know. Hearing that Tyreek had 119 for 1,700 yards, I thought he would have had 90 catches for 1,200. I didn't know that he went that stupid.
Yeah, Jay Jettas had fucking 1,800 yards this year. 128 catches. It is crazy. He had 128 catches, 1,809 receiving yards, but only a touchdown.
And Tyreek had 7, so.
Jalen Waddle had 75 catches, 1,300 yards, 8 tutties.
Bro.
Yeah, that's
3,000 yards between 2 receivers? That's crazy.
That's crazy. And what is that? Only 15 touchdowns between the two of them? That's kind of wild.
And they probably both had, I would say, probably over 500 yards rushing. Maybe. Or close. 250 at least.
No, actually. Jalen Waddle only had 26.
Wow.
And
I thought I could have sworn he got an end around.
Tyreek had 32. That's honestly, that is very interesting.
Well, I don't know. I think the receiver battle is getting closer and closer each year. The more that we see teams, continue to air it out and rely on the passing game opposed to the running game. And the receivers that we're getting now are younger, better, quicker, faster, and they really acclimate. Like Jalen Waddle at 17 or 75 catches for 100 or 1,300 yards. These receivers that are getting drafted right out of college acclimate really quickly, and they are able to play at a very high speed right away. So I don't know. I think the NFL is stacked with wide receivers. We're going to continue seeing a lot of breakout players, and a lot of receiver cores get, deeper and deeper as the seasons, continue, because these are way, way better.
Jordan Addison?
Hey.
Come on.
We'll see.
One can only hope.
One can only hope.
That's all I had to say.
Yeah, why are you cheering
Vikings.
for?
what
Yeah, why
about
are you cheering for Jordan Addison?
Yeah, what
Not
about
Jordan Addison. Oh my
I was
God.
gonna say.
Yeah,
I don't even know
Quentin
my own
Johnson?
players. Yeah, Quentin Johnson.
I
They're
wish.
talking Vikings, so I was thinking Jordan Addison.
I wish the Chargers had drafted Jordan Addison. I
That's
thought
who
he
we
was.
thought they were
I
gonna
thought he
get.
was gonna be a perfect fit for Herbert. Honestly,
All right, boys. So anything else you guys want to touch on football-wise before we move on to
all I
NBA?
want to say is if Devontae wants to prove that he's really that guy, come play in Pittsburgh and see what he can do. You know.
Hey, they got Hakeem Butler, and they might get Martavius Bryant back, buddy.
No, Martavius Bryant's not coming back. But hey, shout out.
Hakeem Butler, baby.
They finally did it. They finally did it. And Kyle, if you see this, I'm sorry, but they finally cut Withers. Finally cut him.
No way.
Oh, they finally cut him. They did it.
Oh, turn up. That's a big up.
After he only got what 7 touchdowns scored on him in his fucking
That's
career
crazy,
with Pittsburgh.
bro.
I don't think it was 7, but it was a lot.
He doesn't have a job.
Nah, he'll get picked up. Oh, for sure.
Something tells me my team's gonna pick him up. I'm gonna be so mad.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
boo-boo
very happy
water.
that they've cut 2 corners now in the last.
He'll get picked up by
2 weeks.
Someone will get
so
injured
I'm
and he'll
nervous.
get slid right back in.
We're gonna have 2 rookie starting corners next year. So it might be.
Really?
Yeah, we're gonna have JPJ and this other guy we drafted because we cut.
Oh my God, Darnold's going crazy.
We cut Witherspoon and we cut. We haven't officially cut him yet, but we're probably gonna Arthur Mallett.
He's good though. He's good.
He's more of our nickel guy, so I don't know what we're gonna do. And
I like him.
Obviously, we lost Cam Sutton, so
I mean, your guys' DB room
we're
is
putting
dead.
we're putting a lot of pressure on JPJ. But hey,
Low-key,
I got faith in him.
I'm hearing he's a bitch-made cat.
By who?
Sources. Hey, birds are chirping. People are talking.
I don't think so, but yeah,
He's a lot
dude.
skinnier than I thought he was, dude. He's kind of
Yeah, but he's tall. Like
no,
6'4",
but I can just
6'5".
see it now. Like just can't you see it? McCaffrey coming around the corner and just kneeing him in the head.
No.
He does what AB did to that one punter.
Yeah, on Cleveland.
Stiff arms him.
No. Because Mink.
Did you guys see that Vikings updated their like Twitter photo?
I did.
Oh yeah, they
I
took
didn't.
Dalvin
They
out.
took Dalvin out and put Alexander
Yeah,
Madison.
he's.
Dalvin's gonna be
there-
gone.
No,
On his
there was
way out.
there was a report. He's gonna get cut probably. He's gonna
Guess
get
who's picking him up?
he's gonna get cut for sure.
Hopefully, all of us.
Yeah, I was
That
gonna
would be
say we.
so
All, I mean,
nice.
any of our teams would. I'd love to have Dalvin,
I'd
but
love to have Dalvin.
Ganage.
People are saying.
Chirping.
Yeah, who sources?
I did see a post saying that we could potentially get him. That's why we haven't signed yet to see if he's available. But sources are also saying that Zeke lost a step. Nobody wants him.
He's been losing a step.
Yeah. Apparently he's play for $1 million or less.
Million or less?
That's what people are thinking, that he's asking for like upwards of what he was making before, and that
Yeah.
that's what Pac-Man said on Pat's show, that he's gonna have to get used to playing for $1-2 million because
Who's
running
Zeke?
backs don't get paid like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's old. So I don't know. I wouldn't be mad if we brought him back. A little deal, cheap deal, but
I'll say a cheap deal. Yeah, I wouldn't
I
mind
think
that
it
at
just
all.
complicates the offense and what we're trying to do more, because it kind of reverts us back to what we're doing.
Nah, bro.
So if we're
you guys
trying
already got your Zeke. You guys already got your Zeke replacement in the draft, baby.
shut the fuck
Dude,
up.
I don't know why you hate him so much. I think he's
Bro,
gonna be
he
nice.
might not even make the team.
Dude, his dad is literally a scout.
I don't give a
They
fuck.
made way too much
I don't
out of
give a
that video
fuck,
of him
dude.
getting drafted.
He is so fucking small.
He is making the team.
Bro, he's literally Herc size.
He is making. What's his last name again?
Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn.
5'5",
Vaughn.
170.
Vaughn.
Sounds like Cooper stats.
5'6", 5. Oh my God.
5'6". What?
5'6",
Yeah, he's tiny.
176 pounds.
Bro, he's a fucking shrimp.
Bro.
But
I
he's
hope Micah's lighting him up in practice.
my God.
That'd be so sick.
He's got that dog in him, but come on, bro. I don't know.
He's got that wiener
Bro,
dog.
come on. Come on, bro. He was great. 1,400 rushing yards 2021 and 1,200, damn near 1,300 rushing yards.
Playing in
Yeah.
the worst divisional landscape,
Divisional conference. Come
defensive
on.
landscape in college football.
Okay, but it's still Big 12 football. Big 12 football's gotten better.
Okay, bro, but you're just picture this now. He's playing against the Los Angeles Rams. He gets a fucking halfback gut, goes up the
Okay,
middle. Aaron Donald sheds his block and picks him up, RKOs him into the fucking turf.
You're putting him up against arguably the greatest defensive player of all time. He might do that to
Arguably.
anybody.
Everybody in the NFL is fucking good, bro. And they're
I know,
all
but
bigger than him. He's the smallest player in the NFL.
I think he's gonna be nice. I like him, bro. He gives short kings like me, some hope. Now I'm not 5'6", 5'9", close to 5'6", but I'm not 5'6".
5'9" with shoes on, right?
5 foot, 6
No,
foot.
5'9" with no fucking shoes on. All right. You guys,
5 foot, 7 foot,
you guys
6
don't
foot.
even, you guys don't even play the Rams this year.
I know. I'm speaking hypotheticals.
I'm gonna let's look at I'm gonna just look at your schedule quick. See if you guys got any. Let's see who Deuce Vaughn might have a breakout game against.
Deuce Vaughn is not getting any carries. He's playing on special
Bro,
teams.
he's gonna. Who's your other running back other than Pollard?
We have another one, and I'm pretty
We
sure
have a good offense.
we signed him to a deal.
Oh, 34 or whatever his name is.
34.
All right, New York, he might do something. Damn, you guys play both. Damn, you guys play Rodgers week 2. Yeah.
Oh no.
I think Cooper's honestly more excited about the Cowboys schedule than the
He always
Steelers.
is.
No, I didn't know, dude. Because fucking you guys always get the primetime games.
Did you hear him? He said we play Rodgers week.
I
Yeah.
did not say we. I said you guys play Rodgers week 2. Don't
He
even.
said, "Oh, my team plays Rodgers
even.
week 2."
You guys play the Cardinals. He might show out against the
Do I wear
Cardinals.
my Rodgers jersey against the Cowboys game?
You're going to.
Oh,
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I'm still got. If anybody at Sideline Banter wants to support me this year, make me a Cowboys jersey, a custom one, a letter or number 0
Butter.
with bitches on the back. So it just says 0 bitches. That's all I need.
Funny.
That's Justin made it up at work, and I've literally been. That's the jersey I need.
Well, hey,
It'll withstand the test of time,
you know what? Now that you say that, I'm gonna get you a Deuce Vaughn jersey.
bro. If you got me a Deuce Vaughn jersey, I'm not wearing that.
He's wearing
shit.
number 42, kind of clean.
42. I'm putting that
If
shit
he
on
gets
her.
you a Deuce Vaughn jersey, you got to get him Deshaun Watson. You have to.
Why? He doesn't even play for my
Yeah, and he
team.
already has 2 of those.
No, dude.
He has a Texans and a Browns. Oh no, that would be.
don't.
If
I
that
don't
would,
condone that. Okay.
I would get him a Lima Sweet or someone that he hates.
I already owned a fucking Lima Swede fucking jersey.
Gross. All right, let's move on. Are you any football talk? Cause fuck bringing up Deuce Vaughn to piss me off. I hate that.
I just love talking football, man. We're getting closer. I feel like we haven't had like real football talk in so long. It
Yeah,
feels
that's
so good.
true. Oh, dude, I just
Deuce
can't.
Vaughn, bro. He's gonna be nice. I genuinely think he's gonna be good. I really do.
Can we just talk about how different like life is, like the weekends without football? Like
Oh my
during
God.
the weekends with football, I live a completely different life.
You literally
different
prep-
schedule.
Football season,
You
I live
literally
a different
prep
life.
your
than-
Whole
whole,
different
you prep your
schedule.
whole week around the games.
It's
like,
crazy.
all right, there's a game Thursday night, so if I get off work in time, I can maybe hit the gym. If not, I'm gonna go home watch the game. So can't go out Saturday night because we got games at 10 in the morning.
And if I do, it's just like like I live a completely different life. Like
And then the best part is you wake up Saturday morning and then you go, holy shit, there's 80 college football games on today. I'm going to stay home and watch some football.
And then you wake up Monday, you're like, wow, it's not that shitty of a Monday because we got football on tonight.
Monday's always smack
Oh,
because
yeah.
you know you got Monday. night
Thursday
football.
games, you definitely watch them, but they've been piss poor the last 2
I don't know.
years.
Yeah,
They might be exciting this
This year
year.
they're gonna be better.
Aren't Chiefs Lions first one?
Well, Chiefs Lions first one, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a banger to start it
But-
off.
I think they're
Dude,
overall it's better.
Thursday games have been not even last year. Remember last year's game was a fucking blowout. The Bills Rams.
Yeah, but we were excited for it
We all-
because
we were so
it
excited
was,
for it, for
the
sure.
defending Super Bowl champs
literally
versus
waited-
the Bills.
I literally waited to drive to Lake Havasu for a trip with my family to watch the game first because I had to see it first. But yeah,
They were supposed to be good. Hey, week 2 was pretty nice. Chiefs, Chargers, we almost won.
You did almost win. But yeah, you're so right, Murph. Life is just so much different when football's on. It's phenomenal.
is.
So much better.
But yeah, that's our football talk for the night. Let's get to some.
Let's talk NBA. So like we said, the Miami Heat stole game 1. They go ahead and
Did you
get
say that?
Yeah.
I don't think we did.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we definitely said that.
we did.
Miami Heat won. Yeah.
Miami won. Jimmy B. Jimmy Butler dropped 35 points,
Not
6
Dog.
steals, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, I think it said, or maybe the opposite.
He's insane.
Still, regardless, he still is insane. He literally posted on his Instagram story after Boston won. He said, "I'm coming, Boston." And what did he do? He came.
Game.
He came. No pause.
All right, so before we get into that, let's go ahead and talk about,
The incident.
the topic that's sweeping the NBA right now. We got a question
Topic
from
that's sweeping the socials, you might say.
Hey, that is actually a proven fact based off this question from Superfly_McBride, Aiden McBride. He wants to know, well, actually, he doesn't want to know. His opinion on John Morant, NBA Morant boy. He wants to know nothing. He wants us to take him overseas. Excuse me, sorry. He wants Morant to go overseas with Dylan Brooks. He says they're not a good fit for the NBA. I think we can all agree Dylan Brooks sucks. We've already talked about that last episode. Not fans of him.
Yeah,
He's
but
not
does
on
he
a
really
team.
suck, or do people just hate his antics?
I'm talking about him as a person. Sucks.
Okay, yeah, him as a person.
Also, not the best NBA player, but
I mean,
he's
he made
decent.
all defense second team, right? I think it was second team or third team.
Yeah, who
Yeah,
cares
but did
about
he
that?
really deserve it?
I mean,
Was he just hype? Either way, what do you
You're
guys think about this John Morant situation? On Instagram again, flashing his Glocks, doing the Cooper pose, listening to Young Boy, just throwing his guns in the air, whatever. Gets caught again for the second time in 2 months. Adam Silver, the Gecko himself, goes on live television and during the draft, and he's upset. He's upset.
he's very upset.
He said he had a conversation with Ja. He looked like a disappointed father. He said, "I'm disappointed. I'm not even mad." Type shit. Yeah, Ja's definitely cooked right now. I think the whole NBA is kind of looking down on Silver. What are you going to do, buddy? What, are you going to suspend him for half a year? You gave him 8 games before. This whole thing, it's a little crazy. John Morant, what the fuck are you doing, man? You could be, I mean, he's 20, he's our fucking age. He's younger than us, throwing dunks down on fucking NBA legends.
He just got a shoe. Like, he's gonna fucking lose that shit.
I know, it's hilarious too, because Nike branded him as their new Kyrie after Kyrie did the whole anti-Semitic shit or whatever the word is. And yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm horrible.
That's anti-Semitic.
Anti-Semitic.
Whatever. It's
Yeah,
horrible.
that itself was very.
But
Not being able to pronounce it somehow, yes.
I'm laughing at that, but I'm also laughing because I have this article pulled up, and for some reason the ad that's on here is top 10 fucking Ruggs career plays in the NFL.
Hayes Rug?
No, Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs?
From Henry Ruggs. It literally says top 10 Ruggs plays. It's just this Dan Patrick article, and smack dab in the middle is this top 10 Ruggs plays video.
Just him on a racetrack.
But that's fucked. But
My bad. I honestly, fuck that guy. In his report, I didn't know, obviously, everything that happened, but he murked a girl and her dog.
And her dog.
And her dog. That's so
okay,
sad.
what's worse? That I couldn't pronounce Semectic, or that he just
This man's a septic tank.
or that he just described somebody getting killed as murked.
I mean,
I think yours is still worse.
Mine?
Yeah.
Damn it, okay. But yeah, I think it's funny that they chose Ja as their new face, and Ja is honestly just as horrible as Kyrie now in terms of public figure,
dude,
how they're looking.
Kyrie shit was definitely taken a little bit out of context, and I think the NBA blackballed him to some extent.
I agree.
And Nike kind of got their hands tied behind their back. I mean, the shit that Kyrie has done for the NBA and literally the United States, impoverished communities, underdeveloped community. And Kyrie is a fucking
I'm sure it started with all the COVID shit, and then this was just the one thing they're like, all right, we're gonna go on this and get rid of him.
Kyrie
it was
also,
their only opportunity to kind of do what they needed to.
Kyrie also, in my opinion, had probably, other than the early LeBron and the Kobe's, had the best Nike shoe, in my opinion, at least right now.
Yeah,
I'm talking
I agree.
right now,
Yeah.
in terms of today's age of basketball shoes. Kyrie
Performance-wise, yeah, their shit
Kyrie
was
definitely
good.
had, I
I
think,
don't
one
know,
of the
because
best
I had a
shoes.
lot of kids who had Kyrie's, and they were the absolute worst shoes. Every kid that was
Really?
wearing Kyrie's was slipping and
The
sliding
kids'
no
Kyries
other.
are trash.
They
the
were
adult
awful.
ones are good.
You know what
Okay.
shoes are really nice? And shout out Noah Jarrell for giving them to me. Paul George's shoes are honestly
Yeah, I
They
like
are,
his
they're
too.
yeah.
very good
I like
shoes.
his.
Phenomenal
They're
shoes.
usually
to-
on sale too, because ain't nobody buying those bitches.
That's a fact,
phenomenal shoes
honestly.
to play pickleball in too. I played 4 hours of pickleball in them last weekend and 0 blisters.
Yeah, and if anybody on the sideline listens to this show that's good at pickleball and could help Coop out, he needs
Whoa, I was not that bad last week. First time playing?
it. Yeah, I know.
Not bad.
You look like Deuce Vaughn.
Hey, Deuce Vaughn's gonna be nice. So, but yeah, I think the Ja Morant situation is
Dicky.
very unfortunate, and I think I don't think there's anything really more that you can.
TikTok, that's TikTok.
I don't think there's anything more that you can do if you're Adam Silver, other than honestly suspend him for a long period of time. Like
half a year is what I'm thinking.
I mean,
I think that's what it's going to be.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was anything less than 30 games.
20, 30 games, right?
20, 30 games has to be in that range, in my opinion. And this is what is so unfortunate about the situation is because we have politicians and people who are in office and leaders of our country, of our states, of our cities, posting and sending out Christmas cards with their families, holding up guns and all this gun debate and people shooting Bud Light cans because they didn't like the person who was on the can. And yet an NBA player gets seen with a gun, and I get it's a problem because little kids idolize him and he's in the NBA, blah, blah, blah. But the fact is,
I think that's the biggest problem. Is that
no, that is a big problem. But I'm saying we have people who literally run this country who are flashing their guns.
But nobody looks up to politicians like they do.
But, I mean,
we know they're all corrupt anyways.
I wouldn't necessarily say there aren't people who look up to politicians. But
his point is valid, just because I think that's probably where a lot of the blame lies, is that, yeah, our country's surrounded with guns and you see it anywhere you look or whatever. But the fact is, like, he has millions of little kids looking up to him. He's the new wave of the NBA, and he's like the new culture in the NBA.
The way that he's also doing it probably
with all
doesn't
these
help.
fucking school shootings and shit too is just a fucking horrible look for the NBA.
I was gonna say, the way that
it
he's doing
also
it
goes in with
it's not illegal. But
it's not illegal, but he flew with the gun on a team plane.
I didn't know that.
And
I didn't know that either. It's like Gilbert Arenas.
He also
Gilbert Arenas is a dog.
Went to the mall and tried to get in an altercation with like a Foot Locker employee.
How many of these stories are real though?
Oh, they're real. I mean,
no, yeah, they're real. He went to the mall and like he went with a group of guys, and I don't know. There was another situation where he was getting in a fight or whatever.
Got pressed at Foot Locker.
Didn't him and his dudes jump some 17-year-old?
Yeah, they got in a fight.
I don't think that's real. No fucking way. I don't think that's real.
He pulled the gun. I
don't think the basketball court 17-year-old thing is real. No way, that's real. Because if that was real, why is he not getting in trouble for that? Why is he not getting in trouble for that?
He was, dude. He got in trouble for all of that shit. And
but what trouble did he get in? Is what I'm saying. Like
he got suspended.
Not for the kid thing. Not for the basketball court.
This was all around the same time. Like it all came into play.
I think that might have been more like hearsay, just because like there was no like video evidence of it. I mean, you can't really get him in trouble if there's no like valid proof of it. But I mean, I'm sure it probably did happen.
I'm sure it's
we'll see.
Either way, you don't see fucking random people calling that out on other players, so it makes me like, no, that kid's not gonna do that for no reason, at least.
But also, I think just all of these individual stories, whenever you compile them together,
horrible look.
Yeah, it's a bad look, and
bad.
I think
his PR team is just working overtime right now. Overtime.
Oh, for sure. I think he
honestly, if he has the same PR
got suspended for the thing where he brought the gun on the plane. I think that is what got him suspended, because that was involved with the NBA.
Yeah.
But this pulling another gun on another Instagram Live is just reiterating that he's not changing his behavior. Although he has said to Adam Silver and admitted on social medias that he's focusing on himself and his mental health and checking him in, and he's not really changing anything.
For
so
like what, 2?
Yeah,
and he's under heat as well because fuck, what was I about to say? My bad. I just lost it. Oh gosh.
I mean, he might play for the Miami Heat, but
I think the real question here is if and when he does come back, does he have another chance? He does something else stupid, is Adam Silver
is
done.
Honestly, I feel
he's
like
getting heat because they say his apology statement was written by ChatGPT.
Yeah, GPT, yeah.
Yeah,
you're lying.
Yeah, you haven't seen
no
those?
fucking way.
Everybody's saying
people
that
have
his
been,
statement was written by ChatGPT.
Yeah, people have been posting their own going into GPT and telling it to write an apology like that, and it literally is the
same thing.
Copy and paste, pretty much the same thing.
That's crazy.
But to your question, Evan, honestly, I feel like for something like this, I don't think there will be a point where he's permanently out of the league, because in my opinion, I feel like this isn't bad enough for him to, if he does continue to do this, to where he won't be in the NBA anymore, because I feel like no matter what, at the end of the day, people will still give him a chance because of his athletic ability. And we haven't seen the NBA really do this as much as the NFL does, in terms of NFL gives a lot of second, third, fourth chances, where we don't really see it a whole lot.
But they
in
also
the NBA.
put people under the drug policy, and that's like debilitating. Like, you can't do anything under that shit.
There's also a larger pool in the NFL.
I think the
I feel
NBA
like
just gives
You're
their
gonna
players
get a lot more bad eggs.
I think the NBA just gives their players a lot more freedom than we've seen in most leagues, and this might just be maybe a sign or the first step in Adam Silver maybe pulling back on that a bit. I don't think the weed thing will be an issue until it becomes an issue. The gun thing, though, with John Morant obviously is going to become an issue, and I don't know.
It's already an issue.
Yeah, it already is an issue. I just don't know where you go from here. Obviously, a suspension is going to come down. The Memphis already suspended him from all team
Memphis
activities.
spoke out saying they're done with, like, specifically about Dylan Brooks, but like the whole having all this controversy around their players and everything. They don't want that attention. And I don't know how they're going to treat John Morant with that. Like,
John Morant's a little different though than Dylan Brooks, in my opinion, because he's literally a franchise player. Like,
he's the new face of the NBA, the next up.
But like specifically, whenever it comes to trash talk, is what they were talking about, and he's talking about the East versus West, and then he's got all this gun shit going on.
Yeah,
like, he talks a lot of shit, and he also fucking has a bad reputation right now with that stick talk.
Yeah, it's not very conducive to the way he carries himself on and off the court, and then to be doing this shit, it's just like an added like.
But I mean, he's tweeting at fans saying it's free to see how these hollows feel. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah. We've been seeing that a lot this year, though. Not the hollows things, but a lot of players tweeting at fans. Because we've even seen Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson's been caught tweeting out at fans a couple times and deleting his tweets, too. So I feel like that is just more players finally maybe feeling like they can.
Not saying he's going to shoot him.
Yeah, not saying he's going to shoot him. For sure. That 100%. But I don't know. The John Morant, it is so wild that we're in this position literally not even less than, 2 months later? Because the first one was the strip club, right? He was flashing at the strip club on Instagram
in March.
Live. And then, well, you can even see, I don't know, have you guys seen the video? The video, you can, his homie literally, the way his homie pulls the phone away, it's almost kind of like he's like, oh my God, what are you doing type thing. Because like,
someone knew.
It's so quick. It's literally so quick. I showed it to my friend, to my brother's friend last weekend at my parents' house, and he didn't even see it. Like, he was like, where's the gun? I had to literally like slow-mo play it because it's literally so quick, but still like
everybody was waiting on that shit. They were like,
yeah,
you're there, you're gonna fuck up and we're gonna catch it.
I will say this though, the memes that are coming out of it,
awesome,
incredible.
John Wick, baby,
so great.
Juan Wick.
Yeah, what does he compare to Juan Wick?
Juan Wick.
Oh, I forgot about Juan Wick. But hey, this is one thing though. If he does find a way to, not be a dumbass, he can trademark John Wick and make that his new, little shooting thing, and he's playing.
He just him with a jump shot and it's just a Glock.
Yeah, he's shooting in the gym.
Yeah.
All right, well, enough about Ja, huh?
Yeah.
I think
it's just unfortunate.
It is. He's got to clean up his act. He's a great player. I'd love to see him,
Just be smart, dude. Not on live.
Yeah, come on.
I think his dad is a massive problem as well. I'm going to say that.
Dad's a bad influence.
Before we get away from this, that's what I want to say. I fucking hate his dad.
He's one of those umbrella parents. Everybody knows him in youth sports, high school sports, and this guy just hasn't grown up.
Dad's literally a celebrity because of his son.
He thinks he's the one in the NBA. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm over Ja Wick and all of his antics at this point.
1 week.
Let's go ahead and talk about the real shit going on in the NBA. We got the playoffs. We had Lakers Nuggets last night, and unfortunately, the Lakers made a late push. Weren't able to get the job done against Joker and the Jokic in Denver.
They'll be back.
They will be back. Obviously, they got a game tomorrow, but we'll see if they can get one in Denver. They had a very, Spence can give his breakdown, but I would say an encouraging performance. Spence has said,
all season long I've said they're a second half team.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I didn't really, believe it as much, but they were able to come back in that game and really show that they at least belonged in that playoff game when it came down to the wire. Austin Reeves performed like a dog, showed that he can actually be that second scoring guy behind LeBron, and if AD isn't able to show up or vice versa, that he can kind of be another player to put some points on the board, and he's playing himself into a massive deal. We won't see him on the Lakers, I don't think, next year, but if they can get it done and continue to play in the playoffs, I don't know. We'll see what this series kind of shapes up. I think, from my perspective, I think the Nuggets are too powerful and they're going to end up winning in 6, but I think the Lakers' performance was encouraging, even though they ended up walking out with a tough loss. I just think Denver is such a hard place to get, a win in with the altitude, let alone
we play at sea level.
Yeah, they have a packed barn, and they really get after it on their home court. And the Suns felt that firsthand, and I think that we're seeing the Lakers do that as well. I just don't think the Lakers are deep enough, kind of like the Suns, to be able to compete unless AD comes out and plays like he's the best player in the world, which we've seen him do in the last series, a couple games, and then he's just disappears. So
and
He
had 40 points.
40.
So he played one of those games that they needed him to play where he's the best player in the world. You got to get a win in that situation, and they just weren't able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the whole Denver starting lineup, though, every single one of them I think was over 15 points. I mean, they were all hot. Everybody was hitting.
Yeah.
But the thing was,
They hit at home, dude.
dude, Joker's
A lot of those
passing was
shots were
insane.
outrageous,
And they
though.
were hitting some crazy shots. Like
A lot of their
Jokic
shots
at the
were
half,
crazy.
Jamal Murray, another buzzer beater for the shot clock. I mean, they were just putting up some crazy shots all game long. So it'd be interesting to see them keep up that level of play. Not only that, though, the Lakers, I feel like we're not as deep as a lot of those teams in the playoffs, but a lot of our guys have been showing good ability to pick up when they need to, like Lonnie. Dennis had a couple games against Memphis and here and there against the Warriors, but
Your players have stepped up
Austin
when you need
Reeves
them,
and Rui
but
Hachimura have been amazing in the postseason for us. So
are
I
they
mean,
going
we
to be
just
able
need
to
to
sustain that, though?
That's what I mean. We need an overall performance from the team. We can't just rely on AD or Bron to get it done
Yeah.
against this deep Nuggets team.
Yep.
But we haven't lost a game at home yet. So I know when we go back there, we'll have better odds, I would think. But we need to take game 2. It's super important. We can't
Very
go down
important.
2-0.
You guys need to show up in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
for
first
sure.
quarter, you can't be giving up 10, 12 offensive rebounds. That's what killed you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, Joker
Jokic
had,
damn
what,
near had a
14
triple-double.
rebounds?
Yeah,
He had
in the
14
first-
rebounds in the
Almost
first
Set a
quarter.
triple-double in the
Yeah,
first
he almost
quarter,
had a
yeah.
triple-double in the first half.
Like that's
So-
ridiculous. You guys got to keep him off the board. Honestly, you guys need to start Rue because Rue
Yeah.
played
Well,
amazing defense. on
So
you.
Time.
a lot of Lakers social media was cooking them for that 3-guard starting lineup with
Yeah.
Schroeder, Austin Reeves, and D'Lo. And D'Lo has just been
Very
he's also been really cold.
I think he's gonna
And
be
that's
good off
kind of
the
how
bench.
they started. So I think that would be good for him. Kind of like how Westbrook was for
Yeah.
that last half that we had him. I think D'Lo would be really good off the bench. Vandy needs to stay in. Vandy's defense
Yeah,
is really
facts.
good, and Rui Hachimura adds some height to the team too. So I mean, so does Vandy. But yeah, I think we need to kind of switch up our starting lineup a little bit, kind of figure that out, and get everybody to keep up that performance because that team looks scary with the way
tough
they move the
task,
ball.
dude.
I mean,
It
we
is.
need to be everywhere.
It is.
Tall task. They're just
all-
so
like,
deep.
all-
And when Bruce Brown is playing like a starting player off the
that's-
bench,
yeah,
it's
for
just
real.
really impossible.
Yeah,
Because,
Bruce Brown had 15, I think.
dude, he leads the second unit. Like, he comes in and he's a superstar off the bench. It's insane, dude.
Bruce Brown had 16.
Bruce is a nut, dude.
Well, and the big difference, I think, when I look at the box score right here, everybody in the Nuggets starting 5 was in double digits, and 3 of their starting 5 had 20 points or more. 2 of them being Jokic and Murray with 34-31. Caldwell had 21, which I
can't
don't
let that happen if you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
win.
know
don't think-
KCP can't keep
I don't
that up.
think that's going to be a
100%,
consistent
but
pace
you can't
from
let
him.
that happen. You got to shut down
Dude,
either.
Jokic's passing was incredible,
Yeah,
though.
and
I mean, it was just so fucking.
Well, I mean, you got to expect that all
that's
series.
every
yeah,
series.
no, I know. It was just so good to
Obviously-
watch. But yeah, that's what I mean. We got to bottle up
obviously-
Jokic.
AD made up for it with the Lakers having 40. Bron had 26, but I mean, only having 6 points from Schroeder and 8 points
Yeah,
from
for sure.
Russell with 17 points from Hachimura on the bench. I
mean, it's just
that's
so.
another thing too.
it's
Vanderbilt only had 0. I know Vanderbilt is basically their defensive player, but Vanderbilt didn't even have a single shot attempt. Where Walker was 2 for 6, only had 6 points. Where you have, I mean, Brown only had 16 and Green only had 3 on the Denver bench. But still, it's Denver showing to have more firepower right now than I think than the Lakers at a consistent level, as we saw in the Phoenix series as well. Caldwell was also pretty hot in that series too. So I don't know. I kind of agree with Weston. I don't think the Lakers have the depth that Denver does. I still am very high up on the Lakers because I love LeBron and I think they're going to bounce back in game 2. But I think it's going to be really hard to beat this Denver team. They are really clicking on all cylinders right now.
Yeah, the way I look at it, the only success the Suns even had is, you know Joker's going to get his. He's going to get his stats. He's going to fill up the whole box. You either have to shut down Murray or you have to shut down MJB or MPJ. Like, you can't let one of them go off. And if Murray goes off, it's over, because if him and Jokic are playing the pick and roll and you can't stop them for that night, like, and Murray puts up 25 or 20 to 25, Jokic is going to guaranteed get 20 to 25. Like, when those two players are going off, the rest of their unit eats. So it's just like, you have to do what you can to limit one.
That's kind of what I wanted to say is I don't want to compare those two to like the Splash Bros, but our defense has to give them that respect, because they can get 100%. Hot. Just, they're shooting lights out.
Yeah, they get hot quick too.
And they put up crazy shots. I mean, MPJ in the corner, I don't know if that one went off the glass, but dude.
Bro, he's a sniper.
Yeah, and so I think that's what's kind of opening up their offense so much, and that's why you see Jokic with those numbers, is because everybody's so focused on Jokic or whatever. Like, you're not giving the respect to those players. That gets the ball around and starts opening up the game. You know what I mean?
And it's just the way that they play as well. Like, he slows down the whole pace and literally reads the whole floor and makes the open pass. Like, especially understanding, like, the Nuggets are deeper and they're bigger than you guys. Like, it's the half-court defense just needs to be on point for the Lakers to be able to win.
Well, I think the biggest thing series is
he's eating no matter what.
Have to focus on.
He literally runs the NBA right now.
Because letting MPJ and Aaron Gordon just offensive rebounds for, you just can't let that happen. So if you stop the role players, you're gonna beat the. But if you focus too much on Jokic, you're gonna let everybody else eat. He's gonna regardless.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and a lot of people clown on Darvin Ham too, but I actually like his adjustments a lot. I like him a lot.
I like the way he responded in the post-game interview.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely be able to bounce back. I think all these guys understand it's going to take everything to beat these guys.
You guys have to have a team game. You have to play team basketball to win.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited to see game 2. I think that was a great first game. I'm excited for the rest of the series. I don't know how this is going to go. I mean, our history with the Nuggets in the Nuggets history in the Western Conference, they've been 4 times, and 3 of those times they've been sent home by the Lakers, and the other one they advanced. I can't remember against what team, but
I got no confidence in the Lakers in this series.
I believe
you still have confidence in them right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if and when the Nuggets take it, but I think we really could do it. I really like this squad. I think we bounced back since the half point of the season, so I don't know. I think there's a lot of potential, but I don't know. I'm very excited for it though.
I think regardless. Obviously, you want to win the finals. At the end of the day, you want to win it all. But I think regardless, if you're a Laker, you're the Lakers front office coach, obviously being a Lakers fan that you are, Spencer, at the end of the day, the fact that they've made it this far into the season, when at the All-Star break, there was literally
less than a 1%
they were
chance.
A question mark to even make the play-in. Like, the fact that they've made it this far is phenomenal in my opinion. That is also why I still have faith in them, because it is still LeBron James. It is still Anthony Davis. Ham is starting to show that he is somewhat confident in his ability to coach an NBA team, where he looked a little shaky early on in the year. And like I said, it's the NBA. It's the NBA. Anybody can win any given day, especially with these professional players. The Lakers have been, they've been tested a lot this playoffs, and they've bounced back every single time that they've gotten hit in the mouth. And I wouldn't even say they got hit in the mouth really. This game, it
was a close game. Yeah, we brought it back to 3 at one point. First half, but that's happened a lot.
Them holding Jokic to, I think he scored, it was either 0 or 3 points in the fourth quarter. Regardless, they held him to pretty much no points in the fourth quarter. If they can do that again, I think a consistent level, then obviously it'll be different. But I know, Spencer, you saying that they're a second half team, but at some point that has to change. And at some point, you're not going to win very many games.
Well, it's got to change now.
No, it's got to change now. Yeah,
it's not an every
now.
Game thing, but whenever we are down big in the first half, we normally have a big second half. It's just you can't play like that, but it's not every game. I mean,
you just don't want to be in that position.
You don't want to be in that position.
I think my point is
but we make adjustments.
You make adjustments, but it's like this is the point where it's like we played
really
good in the second half, but we cannot let this keep happening. We cannot let this keep happening.
I mean, that's going to be the whole test of the series, I think.
It's going to be great. It's going to be a great series. I think both of these conference finals are going to be phenomenal. Miami, as we already mentioned, took game 1.
They fought back. They were down.
Final score of 123 to 116.
What, like 10 or 12?
Jimmy Butler played 43 minutes, 12 for 25 from field goal, 2 of 4 from the 3, 9 of 10 free throw. He had 6 rebounds, he had 5 total rebounds, 7 assists, 6 steals, and 35 points to add to
6
that.
steals is incredible. That's crazy.
Yeah, Adebayo had 20.
Jordan's son?
I think he's got to be, bro. Adebayo had 20. Boston also played pretty well. Jason Tatum had another 30-point game tonight. Jaylen Brown, 22 points. Tatum shot pretty well. Honestly, it looked like you said, Spence, they were down big, or they were down at one point, but it just looks like Miami actually
clutched up.
Actually, it really was just a big fourth quarter for Miami. That Miami was outscored in every quarter except for the third. Miami scored 46 points, where Boston had 25 in the third quarter, which
that's where the Heat are better.
That's crazy.
I'm just more confident in their experience. Celtics are still such a young team.
Yeah,
they don't really have that playoff, experience right now, and I think that's going to show down the line. And it showed in the first game, and the fact that they were able to, the Heat were able to come back and steal a win on the road. Oh, they're on the road, right?
Yeah, they're in Boston.
See, that's crazy.
Yeah, because Miami had Udonis Haslem for a long time, like that vet, who's been in the postseason many times.
Still on the bench for them.
He's still on their team.
Yeah, this is his last year.
Oh my
God,
God,
this is his last year.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But who's leading the Celtics? Al Horford, as far as the old heads.
Their most veteran player.
But I mean, they were just in the finals last year, so they've
but they were so inconsistent
somewhat
in that finals.
No, I agree with you.
They were
I agree.
a walk in the park.
That's what I mean. Even the 76.
Yeah.
It should not have been that close of a.
Especially with Tatum. Tatum's play is inconsistent. It's a young play. It's not like.
I actually want to talk about that. I don't like what did you guys see what he said last week after? So he went.
Oh, he's the best basketball player.
Yeah, he went 1 for 12 in the first 3 quarters, and then scored 15 in the fourth to help win. And the question got taken out of context a little bit when it was quoted, but still, the fact that he said it. He said that he is one of the best basketball players in the world. So, a fourth quarter like that is, not a surprise to him. Me, personally, we're talking about it now, his inconsistent play. I don't think he should be saying things. Not saying that he's not, because when he's on, he is one of the best basketball players.
100%. He can get his shot.
But he's just not playing. He doesn't play at a consistent level, like we've all just said.
I mean, yeah, I agree to some point, but that's also what best. That's that Kobe mentality. It's like, yeah, I'm going 0 for 12 or 1 for 12 or whatever the case.
I'm going to keep shooting.
I'm going to keep shooting. Yeah. I'm going to keep attacking. I
guess I get what you're saying.
I will say,
I'm going to get it done.
That shit when he fucking, I think he texted Kobe or something before one of those games.
Yeah, when he was
last year.
Yeah,
cringe.
So cringe.
I
didn't like
Kobe.
that.
He's kind of a Kobe meat rider. Honestly, he really is. I get
which I respect it. No, I love that you want to hustle like that, but
no, I understand as well, but.
Yeah, I mean, whenever he's just he can't be dropping those games where he's 12 points or 8 points or whatever like he did last year. You've got to close out against these guys and give it your all every night.
You got to be your number one guy.
You got
the ball's going to you. You got to show up.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, he played great. It really, honestly, I'm looking at it right now. It was just a massive third quarter from Miami.
Yeah, he had a good game, and I mean, I'm sure we're going to continue to see that. But if he lays one of these eggs again in the Eastern Conference Finals, it's just going to be like Tatum's that guy that when duty calls in a 7-game series, he's going to lay a brick, and that's their only guy unless
he kind of got
Brown has a 40 or 50-point game, and then when that happens and Tatum's dog shit, they still lose.
Yeah,
kind of got saved by free throws. He had 11 free throws. He went 11 for 11, so obviously that matters, but. 9 for 17 field goal, 1 for 3 from the 3, 11 from free throw, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 4 turnovers. I mean, he was minus 10, so he still played a great game, but I don't know. I definitely am a lot more confident in Miami in this series just based off of Jimmy Butler alone.
It's so funny because I remember you and I were talking before this series that Jimmy Butler is going to give at some point. Doing these 40 minutes a game, but which was stupid of us to say because if you look back to the bubble,
the bubble
exactly
he was
what he
crazy.
He was putting up 40 minutes a game, and I think that's honestly where the leadership of Eric Spoelstra comes in too. I would kill that.
You know, he doesn't have a single Coach of the Year award. Not a single
That's-
one.
That's crazy.
And he's already
single-
top 5 in NBA history in playoff wins.
That's
Not a
crazy.
single
He is
Coach of the Year
such a
award.
phenomenal.
Not a
Yeah,
single
that's
one.
wild.
And I understand you could make the argument that his two championships as a head coach were with the LeBron, Wade, and Bosh era. But no matter what, Miami has been a relevant basketball team his whole career there. Whole career. Even post LeBron, post Wade, post Bosh.
I mean, Wade Shaq era, he was the coach.
Pat Riley was. Actually,
I don't know about the whole time, though.
I think it was Pat Riley.
They weren't really relevant before the bubble or, too much after. I think last year they kind of had a shaky season, or maybe it was the one before that.
I think they went conference finals last year.
They went through a rebuild until they got Butler, and they were still there. Like they're always
D Wade's
around.
last couple years they were shaky, but
Yeah, but also if we were to pull up that roster,
yeah, it would make a lot of sense.
They
Well,
went through a rebuild.
What me and Evan
Yeah.
were saying is we weren't saying that Butler was going to necessarily fall off. The whole conversation was factored around like how much longer can Butler really carry the load of Miami by himself. And tonight this roster stepped up. Adebayo had 15. Adebayo had 20. Vincent had 15. Is it Struss or Strus?
Strus.
He had 15.
Yeah, you're right.
He had 15. Martin had 15 on the bench. Lowry had 15 from the bench. And then Kevin Love had 8, but he was 2 for 3 from 3, which is obviously
all
big.
eating though.
So,
all of them had good numbers.
Yeah, as a team, they played great. But that's the thing. Even Boston played great. 30 from Tatum, only 7 from Horford. Williams had 14. Smart had 13. Brown had 22. Brogdon had 19. White had 11.
It's a good game.
Honestly,
basketball, baby.
It really is just great. This series, I think, is going to be more
in the fourth quarter.
entertaining. And let's do our predictions. We've seen one game from both series so far. Who do you guys think as of right now? Who do we got winning these series? I'm picking Miami over Boston. I want to say Lakers so bad. I still have faith in I still have the Lakers.
Nuggets, Miami.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna
Fuck it.
because I think. Oh God, I don't know. It's so hard to pick that
Sorry,
series.
Bron.
It's going to be too hard for the Lakers to stop all of those.
Yeah.
It really is. I
Can't
mean,
do it.
They're just so deep.
If Bruce Brown, he's given to go off for another 20-point game, and if that happens,
And that's the thing. Even if Bruce Brown doesn't, you still got a veteran in Jeff Green too. Jeff Green, when he needs to, he can step up.
their second unit just is high energy, good defense. It's really well balanced. Like they're able to run all their sets, even in their second, because Brown can do everything. It's just,
and I think it's just because they're like I've been saying, like the veteran experience. Like they know, like they're not the guys anymore.
yeah.
They know that they have to work as a unit in order to keep their run going. And
It's
they're
very
willing
early
to
to
sacrifice
tell.
the points or the rebounds or whatever it takes to make sure somebody else eats, keep them up until that first unit can come back in and do what they do.
Yep.
What a crazy game one though. Bron and AD. AD had 40. Bron had 26.
What I'm saying.
And Jokic had 34 and Murray had 31. Like just the star caliber play, obviously in game one is in both games. But you know what? Oh God, I want to pick the Lakers so bad, but my heart is telling me Lakers, but my brain is telling me Nuggets.
Nuggets, bro.
Nuggets heat.
I don't know. I feel like I can't really pick on that one. I don't know if it's because I'm biased, but I truly think the Lakers can do it. But
I mean, I think the Lakers can do it too. I just don't think they're gonna.
And it's so hard.
yeah,
They have to do a lot.
I think we
All
can.
fast.
I think we can. We go back to home. Like I said, we're undefeated at home right now.
You know what, Spence?
And it's
Now.
Spence, I'm riding the
right
Lakers
now,
with you.
we're undefeated.
Right now, yes.
we lost at home.
No, I agree with you. I said
no,
right now,
and I
yes.
think we're gonna keep it like that.
Spence, I'm riding the Lakers with you.
I do.
Jokic hasn't come to Staples yet, buddy.
Pause.
Crypto Arena.
All right, so I got Miami and
Yeah, I think I'm gonna ride Lakers. Pause.
I got Miami Lakers. Evan?
I'm going Nuggets heat.
The whole world, I mean, the NBA wants it to be Lakers Celtics.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I want to see. I
based
want to
off
see
of
Miami
how
Lakers.
it's rigged and everything, I definitely think that's what happened. But I don't know. I feel like Miami's gonna win that series.
Okay, so how about this?
But that Celtics team is really good, really talented.
They
They
are,
just
but
gotta be
I just don't
consistent.
think. Yeah,
I don't think they have the
consistency.
consistency.
Jimmy's
Yeah.
just on a sick one right now, dude.
And
He's
dropping
just,
game one at home, that's a big shot.
Yeah,
Jimmy's like,
that's true.
yeah.
I mean, they did the same thing against the Sixers, though. Dropped game one, and
Really?
Well, the Sixers could have been there too, but they also fell with that inconsistency in that game 7.
Have you seen the stats of James Harden in the fourth quarter?
Oh my God, that's
over those
crazy.
fourth quarters in that series, he had 0 points.
That's insane.
And that's the same reason they got rid of Ben Simmons, because he only had 5.
Yeah, you can't have that out of the star player like that.
So it's like you pretty much
0
just got
points,
rid of.
That's insane.
You got rid of Ben Simmons to get James Harden for those moments, and he didn't pull through.
He's only scored less than 20 points once in this whole entire playoffs, and it was 19 points. 19 points.
Yeah, that's awesome.
19 points in Game 6 loss against the Knicks.
I do want to ask you guys, though.
Minutes?
He played 43 minutes. Yep.
So I definitely think the Doc Rivers fire kind of makes sense, hearing about like all these players talk about he doesn't make adjustments, and he just, whenever they're up, you can kind of just cruise, but when you're down and you're not making adjustments like that, like you can't just have a locker room manager. I think someone said like I don't know if he's head coach material, but I wanted to ask about Monty Williams with the coach firing.
Ridiculous.
I think it's ridiculous too.
So stupid.
It's upsetting.
All these like very successful teams, and then they kind of just they crumble a little. I know the Suns fell back-to-back seasons in elimination games by like 30 points. But everyone was talking about how Monty Williams was like the most valuable coach like a year or two ago, whenever they were
he won
60
coach of the year
wins
like
or
2 years
something.
ago.
Like, dude, I just don't know how you get rid of a coach like that for.
I have no idea. It's absolutely baffling.
What, 4 different coaches or whatever? Like
3 of the last 4
most winningest coaches.
Coach of the years.
That's
3 of the last
crazy.
4.
Yeah, the coach that just won the finals 2 years ago got fired.
Budenholzer.
Yeah.
Like,
That's insane.
I think the Monty Williams fire is definitely a bit idiotic. It might be because new ownership maybe wants to pick his own head coach.
It was either him or Aiton. Aiton and him don't get along.
I think Aiton still needs to go.
It needs to
Aiton
go.
needs to go.
Still needs to go.
They just picked the wrong guy.
I
They
think
might
Aiton,
just have tried to feel what they could get for Aiton, and they can't get enough for him. And they're like, all right, we have
that
move
is
on.
kind of a question mark as well, because you could bring in a new head coach that really might be able to revamp Aiton and maybe help with his play style. And I just think because Aiton was quoted saying he wants to stay in Phoenix after they lost the next day after they lost that game.
Of course he does.
He wants to stay in
He's
Phoenix.
getting paid.
Yeah, he's getting paid, but
I thought he was also saying the year before he didn't want to be there anymore.
that was because of
Before he
Monty.
got-
That
well,
was
I thought it was before.
That was before he got paid, and him and Monty have had beef for the last like 2 years. So
When Aiton got his new contract, Monty didn't even call. He didn't even show up to the party. Like nothing.
Damn, that's fucked.
Yeah.
I can't blame it. He truly seems like an unpleasant player.
I agree with you.
Like you got fans calling for his head. You
He's an
have
asshole.
players who have
That's
come out
literally the
and
number one
said
thing
that
you want in an
he's
NBA
just-
player.
I mean, if you're arguing with your 2 superstars and you're consistently like butting heads with them, that's not a good
Cruz.
look.
Hustle.
Like that's just a horrible look.
Yeah.
You can't have that.
That's what they need.
I
That's
think
who
the
Phoenix needs.
The craziest
Phoenix needs
thing
Bo
was
Cruz.
seeing him underneath the basket,
Boa.
looking at Kevin Durant and Chris Paul get a rebound, just like literally fucking watching them.
4 rebounds. and he didn't do a damn thing.
Not moving, just
Not a
feet
damn
glued to the
thing.
ground. Like it's.
I think the back-to-back blowout losses and elimination games also didn't help Monty's case, but
I just think it's crazy to move on from these coaches so quickly, though. It's
And I don't know where you go from here. I don't like.
I
Who
don't
are you
know.
gonna get? They get Doc Rivers.
They're gonna get.
fucked.
They're gonna get
Oh,
one of these
yeah.
guys who just got fired. That's literally what it's gonna be.
Suns fans are thinking that they're gonna be able to poach Ty Lue from the Clippers. I don't know
I think it's
how.
possible. I do. I hate to
I
admit
also
it,
saw
Evan. I
another
do.
story that Chris Paul is gonna retire and be the coach of the Suns.
No way. That'd be so
what
stupid.
the
That would
fuck?
be
That'd be
nuts.
crazy.
Not a chance.
That's what I
Not
saw.
a chance. No
Yeah,
way.
I
Can you
also
stay
think
healthy for a full season.
I
as a
think Chris.
coach, I would
It
hope.
is time for Chris
the
Paul to
only
move
the only
on.
reason I feel like Ty Lue could be poached and go to Phoenix is because Clippers at this point have been so inconsistent in terms of Kawhi and Paul George playing a
Yeah.
certain amount of games
they might
together
blow
on the
that
same
bitch
court.
up over there.
They might blow it up, yes. And if you're Ty Lue, you could look and be like a rising young superstar in Devin Booker with also now Kevin Durant.
Booker's a solidified.
Oh, he is a solidified star. And while we're talking Kevin Durant, Evan,
Is he going to be there next year?
Yeah, he will, no
Yeah.
doubt.
Okay.
Dude, Phoenix is gonna throw every
Didn't
dollar.
he say he said 36 is good or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah,
Something
people
like
were
Wayne's 30.
People were posting pictures of Shamit and fucking AN because their numbers make 36.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
22 and 14.
But I want to talk about this as well.
They also said something about James Harden wanting to go to Phoenix.
Yeah, he declined his player option today. Actually,
Back to Houston.
I saw that too.
Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, we have.
Evan,
you want to ask him?
It was just Evan asking about the best basketball player, but
hold on. Let me just put it up on the screen.
Wait,
that's the wrong one.
That one was. I like that one.
He said, currently, who is basketball player in the NBA?
I want to talk about this before we sign off because Evan, you said it pretty interesting. You said it, and it was very interesting, and I agree with you in some ways. How when Kevin Durant is on, he's definitely one of the best players in the NBA, but when he's not
even like a top 15.
And that's exactly what Evan said, literally. And I think that's
I said that on the show a couple weeks ago too.
I think
he's a scorer. I mean, he'll play hard on defense, but he's not going to guard you in the paint. He'll get a block on transition or something, but
that's what I think Phoenix needs to do.
Like Butler on defense.
He's not that clutch.
This offseason, Phoenix really needs to build their depth because they can't afford to have KD fall off like that in a game, and then teams are double teaming D-Book, and then it's up to...
D-Book is also like that, bro. He doesn't fucking perform in those important games, but he chirps all the time.
He goes up for 40.
No, D-Book
but that's not an elimination game.
The Suns' postseason.
He carried them when Durant was shitting the bed, Booker was eating.
No, I understand that, but like, whenever he's putting up those numbers and then he fucking goes for 12 points or whatever in an elimination game to the Mavericks or to the Nuggets, I mean...
There's only so much he can do, though. I mean, he needs help.
They won his last two. I think the game 6. I think he had like 19. In game 6, he had 12.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like in those two situations, I mean, you've been consistently getting at least 30 points. I think before that, his lowest score in this series was 29.
Yeah.
And it's like that. Those are the numbers that you need from D-Book because KD was putting up still around points, although it was like 8.
You can't have Campaign being your number one scorer in those situations.
That's Campaign literally started.
Bro, that's what I'm
saying.
It all boils down to Cooper said it. They need to build depth because either way, I don't care how many superstars or how good the team looks or your outlook. You're not going to beat the Nuggets in the West if you don't have the depth.
They had it though. They had it with Mikal and Cam Johnson.
They fucked their team, bro.
Okay, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about this.
You can't go back on
that. Would that same team had beaten this Denver team?
No,
I don't know. That Phoenix team was moving different.
I don't know.
They needed another score.
Tough,
I think that series.
If Mikal was playing like he's playing now,
but
he wasn't playing like that.
He's always had this ability to play like this.
I think it's a different series.
It's like
for
Kyle
sure.
Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma also was kind of going off for the Wizards, but he wouldn't do that shit with the Lakers with AD and LeBron on the floor. When they were injured, he was having great nights, but he doesn't.
He got the green light.
The
now he has a green light. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of
that could be Monty's fault. It could be back on Monty that he was not.
But he was such a phenomenal defensive player. It was hard to not play him in a more heavy defensive scheme sometimes.
And yeah, he can still get his on offense though.
Yeah, definitely. I think Cam Johnson too.
Because he was
Cam Johnson was hitting big shots.
It's so hard though not to pull the trigger on that KD trade. It's so hard, and I don't think it's time. I don't think you can say
Arizona was fucking creaming for it.
I don't think you can say because KD only played I think 17, 18 total games with Phoenix. Obviously, it's Kevin Durant. You think at some point, yes, it has to click. But let's wait and see the full offseason before we start to really question the trade. I do think it's a different series though with that.
I don't know.
Bridges and Johnson, Phoenix Suns team. I think it probably goes to 7. Who knows? Phoenix maybe wins it in 5 or 6. I think it's definitely a different series. This Denver team is really good. They could win the finals this year.
But Kevin Durant hasn't been able to get it done by himself. Whenever he was on OKC and they went 3-1 against the Warriors and then blew that and he joined them, he was already joining a championship team, and that's where he got his championships.
Yeah.
But then you go to Brooklyn, and he can't fucking do it with Kyrie and James Harden. I don't know why they would think he's gonna
show from the beginning, but yeah, I agree.
I don't think he's actually this clutch player that everyone thinks he is. He's a great shooter at moments, but he doesn't perform well in those big time situations.
He's a great scorer and he's a superstar and he's a great player to watch, but he's not in. I think
he relies on the other players around him.
He proved he's not in this LeBron, Steph era or category, because those are the guys that lead their team. And even right now, he's taking a backseat to Booker, and he's still not able to get it done. So
he's way too reliant on these other players, and that's just what I think. Like, it wasn't a good move to get rid of these key role players for the Suns.
Yeah, because you could have developed Bridges into what Booker is.
While also having Devin Booker, who's the same. He's not clutch in these big moments.
We got to answer everybody's questions, while we're on the topic. Let's answer Evan's question. Evan, are you saying who's the best player in the NBA right now?
Oh, I'm going Jokic 1,000%.
No, that's what you're asking, correct? Who's the best player in the NBA?
Yes.
I mean, you got to give Bron his props. He's still the best player of all time, and
I think Bron's still,
But I'm talking. Okay,
go ahead. Sorry, Weston.
I'm specifying like this year. Like we're talking like Jokic. Current. Like
Jokic.
Not LeBron's tenure, because yes, he's he's the best basketball player of all time. But he got snubbed. Absolutely.
What's up with that? Why does the NBA seem to do that? When like a player's gonna like win it for like their third year in a row, or like last three out of their
boring.
4.
Oh yeah, Bron would have gone 5 in a row.
Yeah, it's boring.
Bron would have probably like I think 8, 20 MVPs.
I think he lost 2 to Nash.
No, Kobe lost one of them to Nash. One of the Nash MVPs people were saying should have been a Kobe one.
Durant got one because
I think Durant got one from LeBron. Was that the one in between?
Yes.
Yeah, because he would have gone 5 in a row.
Where he's crying about his mom.
I don't know. I do think that shit's whack with the MVP voting.
But that was the year Durant got the scoring title. I think he got Triple Crown that year.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess I would say Joker's probably the best in the league right now.
Undeniably, I think he is the most dominant player in the league right now. But I just, especially with the way KD just floundered, you have to put so much respect on Bron's name still.
Damn,
just
Bron
because
hasn't
he's
won
still
an MVP since 2013. Sorry, that to me is kind of nuts.
And this is also the first year he didn't get any votes.
Yeah, I did see that.
No
career,
MVP votes.
But damn,
yeah,
he's proven something.
That's crazy.
He almost got the scoring title at one point in the season.
Yeah, he was.
Dude, he hasn't won an MVP since he played for Miami. That's crazy because he had insane years in his return with Cleveland.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Everybody after him since the last one.
That fool's been playing so long. Holy fuck.
He's still going to play another couple years.
KD in 2014, Steph Curry back-to-back 15-16, Russ in 17, Harden 18, Giannis back-to-back 19-20, Jokic back-to-back 21-22, Embiid. That's crazy.
Yeah, Russ year, I think he was averaging a triple-double, though.
Yeah, Russ's year was a triple-double.
Yeah, that was deserved.
Russ was averaging...
he had like 60, didn't he?
Russ was averaging...
Yeah, 50-point... He had 50 points. That was after Nipsey died, remember?
Yeah, that was the 2020.
He had 50 points, 20 and 20.
He was averaging 31, 10, and 10 that year.
That's insane.
That's insane. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely Jokic. It definitely is still Jokic. I think he's just so fucking good. And he's so goofy. Like, his play style is so goofy. It's like some of the shots, he literally, like, sometimes he'll have like a contested shot, and like it almost looks like he literally just like throws it up. Like he just puts it up and it always goes in. And he's like, all right, fuck it, it's gonna go in.
You just got such a feel for the rim, dude. It's like when you're that tall, you're not even shooting. You're just like throwing the ball in the hoop from like 5 feet away. Like, it's ridiculous.
Jokic is goated right now, but you got to put Butler up there. The way he's performed this playoffs, I mean, he's top 5 player in the NBA right now.
Right now. During the regular season, he's like up and down. It's so funny, but playoffs, he seems to go up. But, I mean, anything else you guys want to, before we sign off?
Just thank you to everybody on Sideline Banter who hit us up on the Instagram and participated in sweeping the socials.
Yeah, thank you guys, as always, for tuning in to Sideline Banter. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Evan, for joining us tonight. Thank you, Spencer, for bringing your best production every week. Thank you, Weston, for bringing your best every week. We really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. We all appreciate you guys watching us, and,
feeling real appreciative right now.
Feeling real appreciated right now.
I'm about to go appreciate a Whataburger chicken sandwich.
Don't forget to follow us at _Sideline Banter on Instagram and Twitter. Find us on YouTube at Sideline Banter. Hit that like, subscribe button.
Hey, comment below your favorite moments of the pod.
Comment below your favorite moments of the pod, for sure. Let us know if you guys, if there's any topics you want to hear us talk about. Let us know if you want to come on. We're starting to, it's that time of year. We need to get some guests on. We're going to have some UFC calls. Coverage here very soon. Carlos Sainz, the Llama, will be back with us to cover the exciting 2 new UFC cards that just got announced. And again, don't forget to follow us at _Sideline Banter and find us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. New episodes every Thursday at 8 a.m. My name is Cooper Post, Weston Murphy, Spencer Steinke. Tonight, Evan Gilbert.
49ers week 1 dub.
This is Sideline Banter, and we appreciate you guys as always.
Sam Darnold.